Bears 77. The Bears versus the New Orleans Saints.
To the 30, the 35, the 40. Dillon is in at the 45, the 50. Got a blocker. He's in the 35, the 40, 25, 20, 15, 10, 12. Touchdown!
Sponsored by AC Delco and its jobbers in Chicagoland and Northern Indiana. Pabst Blue Ribbon Beer, the Buick dealers of Chicagoland and Northern Indiana, the RTA, and Checker Oil. Now to Soldier Field and the voice of the Chicago Bears, Joe McConnell.
Thank you, Ray, and hello again, everyone. Well, we've given you the Bears starting lineups. Let's go now to the New Orleans Saints, who are very, very short-handed at wide receiver and at tight end today because of some early season injuries. And one wide receiver will be Rich Mauti, making his first professional start, a free agent out of Penn State. He has not yet caught a pass, but it will see a lot of action in punt and kickoff returns. The other starter at wide receiver will be Don Herman, a 9-year veteran from Waynesburg State in Ohio, who's caught 5 passes for 57 yards, including a 15-yarder. The offensive line, left tackle Marvin Montgomery, a #1 draft choice of the Denver Broncos in '71, now in his 7th year from USC. Kurt Schumacher, a #1 draft choice of the Saints in '75 from Ohio State at left guard. The center is John Hill, a 6-year veteran from Lehigh. The right guard is Emmanuel Zanders, a 4-year pro from Jackson State. The right tackle, Don Morrison, a 6-year veteran from Texas at Arlington. The tight end will be Jim Thaxton, 6'3", 242 in his 4th year from Tennessee State. He's caught 6 for 62. The quarterback, after a year of absence because of a variety of shoulder ailments, Archie Manning, the Rebel from Ole Miss, 6'3", a 200-pounder in his 7th year. He's been sacked 13 times already this season, but he's completed 54% of his passes on 28 of 52 for 310 yards. And like Avellini, he's tossed 1 touchdown pass and had 2 picked off. He is the 6th-ranking quarterback in the NFC with a 62.3 rating. The running backs, and a couple of great ones that are both youngsters. Chuck Muncie, the #1 choice of a year ago, 6'3", 220 pounds in his 2nd year from California. Muncie is the 6th leading rusher in the NFC with 138 yards, an average of 4.5 a carry, and he's the leading touchdown scorer with 3 already in the young season. And Tony Galbraith, 6'1", 230 pounds, the #2 choice of a year ago out of Missouri. Galbraith, who was a fine preseason player and had a great year last year, so far has been, less than sensational in the first 2 ball games this year with just 37 yards and 11 carries, an average of 3.4 a try. Defensively, for the Saints, it'll be Eloise Grooms, Derlin Moore, who did not play in the preseason game here in Chicago, Alex Price, and Bob Pollard across the front 4. Jim Merlo, the left linebacker, Joe Federspiel, the middle linebacker, and Greg Westbrooks on the right side. The cornerbacks, Clarence Chapman and Craig Cassidy, the younger son of Heisman Trophy winner Hopalong Cassidy, and the safeties, at strong safety, Chuck Christ, and at free safety, Tommy Myers, who has picked off the only enemy pass for the Saints this year. The Bears won the toss, I believe, and will receive.
Yes. They'll have a 16-mile-an-hour wind in their face as they head toward the north. They'll be moving from our right to our left. And the Bears, with this wind in their face, will probably be keeping the football on the ground, and they have the 3rd leading running attack in the NFL coming into this game. In fact, Harper and Payton are among the top 8 in rushing. Payton first with 196 yards, and Roland Harper with 156.
Rich Zarro, a soccer-style kicker, will be kicking it off from the New Orleans 35. The temperature right now, 54 degrees, and it is a windy day. And right now the sun is out, although there's plenty of clouds around the area. We had some rain about a half hour ago. Back is Vince Evans, the rookie quarterback out of Southern Cal, to return the opening kickoff, and Zarro puts a foot into it. Long end over ender coming down, and it's 2 yards deep in the end zone. Here comes Evans to the left side at the 10, through a hole at the 20, stutter steps at the 25, and is knocked over at the 27-yard line. A 29-yard return on the opening kickoff, and down quickly was Rick Kingray, a 7-year linebacker out of Tulane. To make the tackle on the play, he's a backup in the middle, and the Bears will put it in play at their own 27-yard line as the game gets underway. A big one for the Bears, Brad. They must win today if they're going to keep their playoff hopes alive. This is one game they figure to win.
Say, they lost the toss. The Saints went with the wind. How about that?
All right. We saw that a couple of times yesterday in collegiate football. Slot to the right, I formation, quick count, and a pitch to Walter Payton. Stops, hurdles over one man, and gets about 2 yards to the 29-yard line, trying to turn the right corner. It was boxed off, so he cut back sharply upfield, and Alex Price makes the tackle on the play. Price is 6'3", 265 pounds in his 5th year from Alcorn State. He's the biggest man of the front four for the New Orleans Saints. A pickup of 2 for Walter Payton. It'll be 2nd down 8. The Bears on their own 29-yard line. Jack Pardee still using the shuttle service at wide receiver. Now Schubert is in there, and he's in a slot to the near left side, inside James Scott. Deuce backfield behind quarterback Bob Avellini. Long count by Avellini. And the give now comes to Roland Harper. Slides to the left side, breaks one tackle, still on his feet, running laterally, and is finally dumped at the 34-yard line by a trio of Saints, led by Chuck Christ, the safety, and also Eloise Grooms in there. Harper shredded the first tackler and moved it out to about the 33.5, we'll call it the 33-yard line, where it'll be 3rd down and about 4 yards to go, a short 4.
Good blocking that time by both Ted Albrecht, the rookie, who was playing his first game at left tackle for the Bears. In fact, it's his first start in the NFL. And Walter Payton also a key block.
Bo Rather in at wide receiver. Breaks wide to the right. Scott standing wide to the near side. The Deuce tucked in behind Avellini on 3rd down and 4. The Bears just shy of their own 34-yard line. And Avellini hands off to Payton on a sweep to the right side. He's got a blocker, Sorry, in front of him. He bangs off the blocker, gets across the 35, and is spilled at the 36-yard line. Coming over very quickly was Jim Merlo, the left side linebacker out of Stanford, with some great lateral pursuit. And I think he chopped Walter down about a yard shy of the 1st down. Greg Latta also trying to block on the play, but they couldn't quite spring him around the corner.
He just ran out of room over there. I'm surprised he did. I thought he was going to get the 1st down, but he's going to be about a half yard shy. The Bears will have to punt with a 16-mile-an-hour wind, and they have the leading punter in the NFL in terms of net yardage. Bob Parsons with a net of 39.6. That's almost incredible. His average overall, 43.7.
Rich Mauti is back to receive the punt now. The Bears have to give it up on their first possession. Good snap from center. The rush is on, and the kick is away, and it's a beauty against the wind. Mauti drives all the way back to the 18, drops the ball. Penalty flag thrown, big pile-up at the 18-yard line. I believe the Saints got it back. A tremendous kick against the wind by Bob Parsons, who's having a sensational year. And I think it was Mauti who recovered his own fumble. That was a 45-yard punt. Now, there was a penalty flag thrown, and we'll wait and see what the call is. But the ball right now is spotted at the New Orleans Saints' 19-yard line.
What a punt into a 16-mile-an-hour wind, 45 yards, and no return as the punt was fumbled. And the Bears almost recovered it on the 19-yard line, but the Saints held on to it, and they've got a penalty coming up against them. It's going to bring them back inside their 15.
They're starting out today like the Bears did the first 2 ball games of the regular season, deep in a hole.
Saints are hurting. They are without Tinker Evans at wide receiver, and they're missing one other wide receiver, Larry Burton. Both of those caught big passes in that Saints preseason victory here in the 2nd game of the preseason. It's a 10-yard walk-off, and it's at the 9-yard line.
1st down for the Saints in a big hole at their own 9-yard line, and we'll see what the redhead from Ole Miss calls on his first play. The Saints break the huddle. Wide to the left is Mauti. Both ends are in tight. They shift. Nobody moves. They have a straight T backfield, and they give to Galbraith, who slashes off left tackle and gets out to about the 13-yard line, where Don Reeves, the middle linebacker, puts him down. The old straight T formation with 3 running backs behind Archie Manning, and they pick up about 4 on the first play. It'll be 2nd down and 6. The Saints on their own 13-yard line.
Chuck Muncie and Tony Galbraith, both in their 2nd year. They've done all the ball carrying for the Saints in their 2 games so far. Galbraith 37 yards, Muncie for 138 so far.
Now they split Herman wide to the near side. Wide to the left is Mauti, and the tight end moves up into the line. That's Jim Thaxton. Deuce backfield, and they give to Muncie, and Muncie spins and lunges out across the 15-yard line. He was hit right at the line of scrimmage. A big stack up in the middle. Buffon, one of 2 Bears to get up off the stack, along with Jerry Myers, who got the starting call in place of Mike Hartenstein at defensive end today. He picked up 3. The ball is spotted at the 16. It'll be 3rd down and 3, and this is a big, big 3rd down for the Saints early in the ball game.
They're going with Jim Thaxton at their tight end position. Henry Childs is available, but he has a hamstring.
All right, I formation now. Both ends in tight, and Mauti races to the near side in motion. Quick pitch to the left side to Muncie. Puts a burst of speed on. Hit at the 16 and driven down by Don Reeves on a great tackle. Reeves and Gary Fensick, who had 17 hits against the Cardinals last week, Brought down the big running back out of California for no gain. It'll be 4th down and 3 yards to go.
Well, the Bears ought to get some good field position out of this exchange. The Saints will be standing on about their goal line when they let this punt go. It's at the 16-yard line. Now, they do have a 16-mile-an-hour wind at their back.
Schubert is back. Of course, he returned 170 yards in the opener for a touchdown against the Lions. In the punt is Tom Blanchard, who has a net of 34.7, overall average of 43.4. He gets the snap and the kick away, and it's a driving kick. Schubert has it played beautifully at the 33, got a lot of running room up the middle of the 40, carrying the ball like a loaf of bread, cuts through at the 50 and gets to the 45-yard line in Saints territory before he's spilled by Richard Mauti. So Schubert was carrying that ball out there like a loaf of bread, put a move on just at the 50-yard line and left one would-be tackler sprawled, and Mauti finally caught up from an angle and chopped him down, and we mark it at the 44-yard line in Saints territory. The Bears will have excellent field position for their second possession. Timeout on the field, no score. Well, they didn't go with a 60-second timeout like they're supposed to, and so the Bears put it on play from the Saints 44-yard line. Scott wide to the near side, rather wide to the right. Avellini, quick pass in, double the drop at the 32-yard line. A quick slant in as Avellini was knocked right off his feet. The ball was intended for Bo Rather, and it was jarred loose by Craig Cassidy.
Hit him in a bad spot, right on the belly button.
It'll be 2nd down and 10. The Bears at the Saints 44-yard line. That was a 41-yard Tom Blanchard punt and a 23-yard return by Steve Schubert. Schubert having an excellent year so far in punt returns and special team units. He was averaging 17.3 in 4 punt returns, and that's 3rd in the NFL, 2nd in the NFC. Slot to the right, deuce backfield of Harper and Payton. Avellini on 2nd down, 10. The Saints 44. Quick pitch now to Payton, trying to turn the corner behind Dennis Lick. Gets the block, gets across the 40-yard line, and spun down at the 36-yard line over on the far sideline. Craig Cassidy again coming up from the left cornerback position to make the tackle on the play, and a key block thrown by big number 70, Dennis Lick, which enabled Payton, who was moving, running laterally when he got the pitch, to turn the corner on the right side. And the ball now marked just shy of the Saints' 36-yard line, where it'll be 3rd down and 2 yards to go. Bo Rather is back in at wide receiver. Sellout crowd here of 57,000 plus at Soldier Field, and right now the sun is shining. Rather wide to the right, Scott wide to the near side. Quick snap, and a draw is given to Harper, who shreds one tackler and burrows his way inside the 35 down to about the 33.5-yard line, and it should be enough for the 1st down. Bob Pollard made the tackle on the play. Pollard, a 7-year pro from Weber State in Utah, the left defensive end for the Saints. Harper picks up the first down of the ball game for either club, and the Bears own it at the New Orleans Saints 33-yard line.
Both the Bears running backs, Harper and Payton, are averaging over 5 yards a carry through 2 games so far. That's where the Bears are ranked 3rd in the NFL in rushing. They're 11th in total offense.
Schubert in the slot to the near left side. Scott is wide. Avellini takes the snap, rolls back to the right, gets a fine standoff block from Albrecht. Now chases to the right side, dumps it out, caught by Payton at the 30-yard line to the 25, the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown! Walter Payton caught it on the right side after Albrecht did a beautiful job of protecting Avellini. He rolled to the right side, dumped it out of there, and Payton tight-roped it down the far sidelines. And it's a touchdown pass for Avellini, and it's Payton's 3rd score of the year. And the Bears have taken a quick 6-0 lead.
Payton was almost caught over at about the 25-yard line, but got his way through. Here's the extra point.
Thomas will attempt, and Baschnagel will hold. There's the snap. The ball is down. The kick is up, and it is good. And the Bears have taken a 7-0 lead with 9 minutes left to go in the 1st period here at Soldier Field.
The Spinners for Pabst Blue Ribbon Beer.
Everybody's looking to find what's best in the things they do and the music they hear. Take on the challenge of Pabst Blue Ribbon if you're looking for quality beer. Compare our beer with any other. Try us once and you'll discover the great beer taste we're bringing home to you. With Pabst Blue Ribbon, the quality always comes through.
Pabst challenges you to discover a better tasting premium beer. Taste and compare Pabst Blue Ribbon with the beer you're now drinking. You'll taste the difference Blue Ribbon quality makes, because our quality means the best tasting beer money can buy.
With Pabst Blue Ribbon, the comes through.
Well, the Bears went 44 yards in 4 plays. They had it for 1 minute and 32 seconds, and Payton's 33-yard touchdown reception puts them on the board, 7-0. Mauti and Willis are the 2 deep men now awaiting Bob Thomas's kickoff.
Avellini had all day back there. One reason, Ted Albrecht fought off somebody coming from the outside that did a good job. And right after Payton got the football, there were 2 other blocks, but they were so good they got obscured. I couldn't tell who made the blocks that sprung Payton from the 25-yard line.
Thomas moves forward and puts the ball in the air. Line driver drifting to the left side, and it's taken by Mauti behind the wedge at the 20, the 25, and he's cartwheeled at the 27-yard line. Lenny Waldershy down to make the tackle on the play. A 12-yard return, and the Saints will put in play from their own 26.5-yard line. The Bears leading 7-0 on a 33-yard Avellini to Walter Payton touchdown pass. That's Payton's. I'm not sure how many receptions he has. It might be his first one of the year.
No, it's his 6th reception, his 3rd touchdown, but his first in the air.
Wide to the left is Mauti. Herman wide to the near side, and they shift the tight end Faxon up on the right side of the line. Now in motion is Herman. The give is to Galbraith. Tries the middle and gets about 1.5 yards before he's spilled by Jimmy Osborne. Big pile up in the center of that line. It'll be 2nd down and long yardage for the New Orleans Saints at their own 27-yard line. Make it 2nd and 9.
How about this one? Green Bay scored against Minnesota and leads in that game 7-0. A 95-yard pass from Dickey to Odom.
Steve Odom. Oh. The Vikings have had their problems. They have not yet crossed the goal line on the ground. The only 2 touchdowns they've scored have been on touchdown passes from Tarkington to Foreman. The shift into the deuce here. It's 2nd down 9. In motion comes Mauti, and a handoff goes to Muncie on a sweep to the left side behind a blocker. Leaps one man at the 30 and dives out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Wayman Bryant, the right side linebacker, chasing him out of bounds, but there was a penalty flag thrown in the Saints' backfield. Illegal motion or procedure against New Orleans.
New England's having problems against the Jets at Shea. It was 14-14 at the end of the first quarter. Now New England has kicked a field goal, a 44-yarder. The Patriots lead the Jets 17-14 in the second quarter. At Cleveland, the Browns and Steelers are tied at 14-14. That game in the second quarter. Bradshaw's pass for 2 touchdowns. Detroit leads the Eagles 7-0. That game's in the first quarter. It's Atlanta in front of the Giants 7-0 in the second quarter.
5-yard penalty against the Saints puts the ball back on the 22-yard line, making it 2nd down and 14. There was a good block thrown by Kurt Schumacher, the left guard, in his 3rd year from Ohio State on that play, but somebody moved. Now there's the shift into the deuce on 2nd and 14. Archie Manning with a call from his own 22-yard line. On a draw to Muncie. Big hole. A lose one man. Gets to the 25, and he's spun down at the 27-yard line. The Bears reacted very quickly, and Wayman Bryant came across to make the tackle with help from Mike Spivey, who's in the lineup for a moment.
Joe, in that New England Jets game, Don Calhoun returned a kickoff for 100 yards for the New England Patriots in that game. So we've had a couple of big plays today. The 95-yard pass by Dickey for a Green Bay touchdown and a 100-yard kickoff return by the Patriots' Don Calhoun. Here, no score for, 7-0 Bears. 7:38 to go, first quarter.
3rd down and 9. The Saints on their own 27-yard line. Herman wide to the near side. Mauti standing wide to the left. Deuce backfield, and Manning gives now to Galbraith on a sweep to the left side behind Schumacher. Leaps one man at the 30, 35, still on his feet. And he's finally wrestled down as he gets to the 37-yard line, and it should be enough for the first down. Terry Schmidt, in his 4th season from Ball State in Indiana, made the tackle on the play. Schmidt starting at free safety today, and he came up as a rookie 4 years ago with the New Orleans Saints and picked off 4 enemy passes in his first 5 NFL games. In fact, he led the club in interceptions that year.
That was a pretty good hurdle, wasn't it?
Yes, it was, and enabled him to pick up a first down. The first for the Saints this afternoon. Herman wide to the right. Wide to the left is Mauti. I formation. Muncie is the deep man. And they give to the short man, Galbraith, looking for running room, and he surges right up the middle to the 40-yard line. And a penalty flag is thrown. There may be a late hit called on the Chicago Bears.
Brought down by Reeves.
Reeves and Bryant, the middle and right side linebackers respectively, made the tackle on the play, and I think somebody dove on there a little bit late. Personal foul against the Bears. It'll be a 15-yard walk-off and give the Saints a first down in Chicago territory at the Bear 45.
Well, the sun's come out at Soldier Field. It's 54 degrees here. It's a chilly day, and with that 16-mile-an-hour wind from the north, it's keeping it fairly cool. People are fairly well bundled up at Soldier Field, but the sun's going to help it a little bit.
6:45 left to go here in the first quarter. The Bears lead 7-0 on a 33-yard touchdown toss from Avellini to Walter Payton. And Payton and Muncy now both lead the NFL in touchdowns with 3 apiece. Deuce backfield. Mauti wide to the left. Don Herman wide to the right. Now they shift into the I. Muncy's the deep man. Coming in motion is Mauti. And the give is to Galbraith, and tries the left side and gets short yardage, maybe a yard. Making the tackle on the play is big Ron Rideout, who already has 2 quarterback sacks this year. A gain of 2. It'll be 2nd down and 8. The ball at the Bear 43-yard line. The Saints in Chicago territory for the first time, thanks to a 15-yard penalty.
Saints ranked 24th in the NFL in total offense. They've had their problems so far.
Manning has yet to put the ball in the air. Now they shift out of the full house backfield, and Herman goes in motion to the near right side. And they give to Galbraith, who is grabbed right at the line by Don Reeves, the middle linebacker, and anchored right there for no gain as he submarined in there low and got him around the ankles. A great play by the middle linebacker, Don Reeves.
Yes, the last time Don Reeves made that dive, he missed him, and Galbraith got the first down. This time, Reeves held him to no gain.
Reeves out, Spivey in as the 5th defensive back in the Bear nickel defense. In for one play was Mike Strawn, and he leaves. Strawn was a leading ground gainer for the Saints against the Bears back in August, and he is a proven running back. Galbraith and Muncy in the I. Both ends are in tight. Herman wide to the right. Quick pitch now to Muncy, going to try the near right side, and he is hit and knocked out of bounds at the 42-yard line by Allen Ellis, the left cornerback. Allen Ellis is only 5'10", 175. Muncy, 6'3", 220. And Ellis stuck his headgear in there and slowed him up and finally forced him out of bounds. A yard gain. It'll be 4th down, 7 yards to go. The line of scrimmage, the Bear 42, and they have shut down the run, and Manning has yet to put the ball in the air.
So I would think we're going to see a punt here, and Tom Blanchard is averaging 43.4. However, his net is only 36 yards.
All right, Schubert will be in the middle, and Walderscheid and Baschnagel are back guarding the corners. Baschnagel over on the far right side. Blanchard to punt for the 2nd time. There's the snap. It's a good one, and Blanchard hammers it right down the middle, and the Bears will let it go, and it bounces into the end zone and out. So it'll be a touchback, and the Bears will have the ball at the 20-yard line when play is resumed. But there's timeout on the field, a 42-yard Blanchard punt. With 5 minutes, 26 seconds to go in the first period here at Soldier Field in Chicago, the score. The Bears 7, the Saints nothing. Well, we've gone up a degree, and we've gone up a mile an hour in the winds. Now 55, and the winds very strong out of the north at 17 miles per hour as the Bears take over their 3rd possession at the 20-yard line, leading 7-0. 5:26 left to go here in the first quarter. A week from tomorrow night, the Bears will have a Monday night encounter here at Soldier Field against Joe Namath and the Los Angeles Rams. High formation, slot to the right. And Avellini sets up the pass, swings it out on the right side, caught by Scott, and Scott gets to the 29-yard line before he's knocked out of bounds. A hitch pattern to the wide receiver on the right side, and a penalty flag was thrown at the 30-yard line, and it would be a preliminary indication to be against the Bears.
We're talking to Noah Jackson. It looks like somebody made an illegal block in there for the Bears, so that's going to nullify that and move the ball back to about the 10-yard line.
Well, the Vikes have tied it up 7-7 at the Met in Bloomington on a 16-yard Carkington touchdown pass to Sammy White, last year's Rookie of the Year. 7-7, the Vikes and the Green Bay Packers. The Bears have a 10-yard mark-off, and they will be set back to the Chicago 10-yard line, where it'll be 1st down, 20 yards to go. That's their 2nd penalty for a total of 25 yards. Here's an update on the Detroit-Philadelphia Eagle game in the 2nd period. At the end of the half now, at the Silverdome in Pontiac, the Lions lead the Eagles 10-7. Mickemeyer, 45-yard field goal to put the Lions on top after Jaworski had passed to his tight end Tony Krepel, a 32-yarder to tie it.
Offensive pass interference on the Bears.
All right, and a draw. The give now to Roland Harper. Tries to change directions, and he's knocked down as he crossed the 10 to the 11-yard line. A pickup of 1, it'll be 2nd and 19. They tried to call the draw on 1st and long yardage situation, and Derlin Moore made the tackle on the play. He's a 5-year pro from the University of Oklahoma. 2nd down, 19 yards to go. The Bears on their own 11-yard line, leading 7-0 late in the first period. Danny Pfeiffer up over the ball now. The Bears send Scott wide to the left with Rather in a slot to the left. Deuce backfield of Harper and Payton. And Avellini on a crossbuck gives to Walter Payton, who tries the right side and gets upended at the 15-yard line by Joe Federspiel, the middle linebacker, who's made a ton of tackles in the first two ball games for the Saints defensive unit. Federspiel is a 230-pounder now in his 6th year from Kentucky. Rather leaves, and Schubert brings a play in from the near sidelines. It'll be 3rd down and 15. The Bears at their own 15-yard line.
When the Bears have been passing, which is, about 2 or 3 times, they have worked to the sides against those cornerbacks because the Saints are without their 2 starters from last year, both out with injuries, Ernie Jackson and Maurice Spencer.
Slot to the right side. Schubert inside of James Scott. Back to pass. Avellini steps up in the pocket, still on his feet. Throws one as he's hit. Overshoots his intended receiver, incomplete. Latta was the target at the 35-yard line, and Avellini did a great job of stepping up just as the pocket caved in.
He also had Schubert about 12 yards behind Latta, and the ball went between. I'm not sure who that one was intended for, and I'm not sure they are either. But he was under a lot of pressure. I think he just wanted to let the ball go, and it was not in danger of being intercepted.
Avellini, 1 of 3 for 33 yards, and the game's only touchdown to Walter Payton. 4th down, and Parsons in to punt it away deep in his own territory, and back is Richard Mauti, standing at the Saints' 46-yard line. Parsons gets it away, and this time it's hung up in the wind. A short kick, and Mauti makes a diving catch at the Bears' 38-yard line. A very short punt. It was a knuckleballer that got held up in the wind that time. He didn't get the spiral on it, and that 17-mile-an-hour wind just killed it. And that's the poorest Parsons punt of the year, and the Saints will have excellent field position, and they mark it at the Bear 40-yard line. That'll be a 25-yard, make it a 23-yard punt. Timeout, the score. The Bears 7, the Saints nothing. Joe McConnell and Brad Palmer back at Soldier Field in Chicago, where the sun is shining brightly now after rain and wind all morning. In fact, up to about 20 minutes before kickoff this afternoon. The Saints break the huddle and line up at the Bear 40-yard line. Herman wide to the right. Both ends are in tight. Actually, they've got a full house backfield, and now Mauti leaves the middle and goes in motion to the left side. Now Manning, play action fake, rolls to the left, dumps it out, caught by Galbraith at the 32. He gets across the 30-yard line and is filled at the 28-yard line by Wayman Bryant. Fine play action fake, and that's Manning's first pitch of the day, and he completes it to Galbraith, who is the leading pass receiver on this ball club with 8 catches for 68 yards prior to the game this afternoon. So first down for the Saints at the Bear 28-yard line.
Many of the leading pass receivers, catching-wise, are running backs in the NFL.
Herman wide to the right. Both ends are in tight I formation. Handoff goes to Muncie. Hit behind the line by Billy Newsom and drugged back to the 33-yard line. They'll probably mark it at about the 30 as Newsom flew right by his would-be blocker and ran into Muncie before he could get to the line. Boy, he's been quite an addition to this ball club. They picked him up 2 weeks prior to the first regular season game, a 9-year pro from Grambling. The Bears dealt off rookie Connie Zielinski out of Purdue, an offensive lineman, to acquire the services of Billy Newsom from the Buffalo Bills. They mark it at the 29, a break for the Saints at 2nd down 11. Herman wide to the right. Mauti comes in motion now to the right side. Deuce backfield. Manning rolls to the right. Quick slant in. Caught by Herman inside the 15 to the 13-yard line. Alan Ellis made the tackle with help from the free safety Terry Schmidt, but the quick slant in works, and Herman just picks up his 6th reception of the year, and the Saints have another first down. Now on the Bear 13-yard line.
Herman's the only wide receiver on the Saints with more than 1 catch so far. At halftime, Cleveland and Pittsburgh tied at 14-14.
All right, the Saints line up now in the stack offense, and now they shift the tight end Faxon to the left side in the offensive line and split Mauti wide to the left, Herman wide to the right. I formation. And a quick pitch now to Muncie. And he fakes the end around, tries to spin inside, and is driven down at the 14-yard line. Mauti hooked back, and they looked like they were going to fake the end around, but Muncie kept the ball and cut upfield, and Wayman Bryant knocks him down at the 14-yard line. Oh, they're going to move it back out to the 15. A loss of 2 on the play at 2nd and 12. The Saints on the Chicago Bear 15-yard line.
Oh, we finally found Red Grange. He's up here in the press box. He'll be in the booth at halftime.
2nd down, 11 yards.
Mauti splits wide to the left. Youngster out of Penn State, a free agent. Herman wide to the near right side. Deuce backfield with Muncie on the left, Galbraith on the right. Back to pass Manning. Quarterback draw up the middle. Breaks 1 tackle. Gets inside the 10 to the 8-yard line, where he's tackled around the ankles by Don Reeves, the middle linebacker, and Terry Schmidt, the free safety. A quarterback draw by Archie Manning, who had picked up 34 yards and 6 carries, an average of 5.7. Go ahead.
Hank Stam has to hold his breath when Manning does that. He missed all last year with that shoulder injury. It's been a recurring thing with him, and he's been healthy so far. He's off to a good start here in 77.
Big down for the Saints offense, 3rd and 4 to go at the Bear 8-yard line. Mauti wide to the left, Herman wide to the near side, Deuce backfield, shifting out of the eye. And Manning to throw, pumps once, twice, gonna run up the middle of the 5, touchdown, Archie Manning. Looked to the right corner of the end zone, Dave Herman was covered up. He ran out of the pocket and scores on an 8-yard run up the middle, and it's a 7-6 ball game with 50 seconds to go in the first period here at Soldier Field.
The Bears didn't have anybody at home up the middle. Manning went back to pass, looked toward the corner, didn't find anybody, looked up the middle, and nobody was there, and it was clear sailing all the way to the goal line.
Well, in to try for the tying extra point now is Rich Zarro, a soccer-style kicker.
He's missed once already this year. He's 4 for 5.
There's a snap a bit high, and Zarro gets it up and through, and we've got a 7-7 tie in Chicago with 50 seconds to play in the first period. Well, the Saints motored 40 yards in 6 plays, and Manning's 8-yard run up the middle has tied the ball game at 7-7 with 50 seconds left to go in the first quarter of play.
Thought you might say the Saints were marching in.
Well, they did just that. Manning had 2 nice runs on that drive. 15 yards and 2 carries. It gives him 49 yards and 8 cracks this season. Not bad. Zarro has it teed up on the northern 35-yard line. Evans is deep, waiting for the ball at the Bear goal line, and Zarro moves forward and puts it in the air. Long, driving kick with that 17-mile-an-hour wind. And Evans fields it on the hop. He's about 6 yards deep in the end zone. He touches the left knee down on the AstroTurf, and the Bears will put it in play at their own 20-yard line.
Good move that time. He was in the corner of the end zone, and there wasn't much room for a run, so he did the smart thing and knelt down for the touchback.
An excellent kick by Zarro, utilizing a 17-mile-an-hour tailwind. So the Bears will put it on play at the Chicago 20-yard line. 44 seconds to play in the first period. We're tied at 7.
No surprise from Dallas. Cowboys lead Tampa Bay 10-0 in the first quarter of play. Atlanta continues to lead the Giants 7-0 in the second quarter.
Slot to the left, Deuce backfield, and the handoff goes to Roland Harper. Tries the left guard slot and gets out to the 25, maybe the 26-yard line before he's brought down by Derlin Moore. Nice move that time with some fine blocking on the left side from Noah Jackson and Ted Albrecht, who's getting his first Major League start today at a tackle position. He's no stranger there. Even though he was drafted by the Bears as an offensive guard, he played tackle at California. Second down, 4 yards to go as Harper picked up 6 on the initial try. Schubert in the slot now to the near left side. High formation. Avellini brings him up. Second down, 4. The Bears from their own 26-yard line. Quick pitch now to Walter Payton. Cuts back in, was tripped up and dives to the 28-yard line. There was a beautiful shoestring tackle by Craig Cassidy, the cornerback who got behind the line of scrimmage and tripped up Walter just as he tried to make his cut upfield. The gun sounds, ending the first quarter of play here at Soldier Field with a score. The Bears 7, the New Orleans Saints 7. Joe McConnell and Brad Palmer back in Chicago at Soldier Field with a score tied at 7. The Bears have the ball just across the 27-yard line. It'll be third down and a short 3. Wide to the left is Scott. Rather wide to the right, and Avellini back to pass. Protection, throws, and juggle and drop by Roland Harper, who made a dive at the 38-yard line. He had it, couldn't quite hang on. Federspiel and Chuck Crisp were the 2 men covering on the play as Roland dove on the AstroTurf trying to pick up that Avellini toss, and Bob now is 1 of 4. And that was a 33-yard touchdown pass to Walter Payton. So it's fourth down and a short 3 for the Bears, and they're forced to punt. This time, Parsons will have that 17-mile-an-hour wind at his back. Richard Mauti is back, standing deep at the Saints' 23-yard line. The snap is a good one. The rush is on, and the kick is away. A high hanging punt. Mauti waits for it at the 25 and spins away from one tackler at the 27 and is cut down on a beautiful open field tackle by Johnny Musso at the 28-yard line. A 3-yard return, and Musso made a beautiful diving tackle. A 48-yard punt by Parsons.
After Bashnagel missed the tackle down there. Hang time about 4.5 seconds on that punt.
After a return of 5. Now the Saints now will have first down at their own 28-yard line, and they're holding up time for a moment as they get the change down. Lottie comes wide to the left. Herman wide to the right. Joe Parker's the only other wide receiver that could see action today for the Saints. I formation. And they give to Muncie on a delay. Up the middle, bangs on the one man and carries 2 tacklers up to the 34-yard line. Good, strong inside run up the middle on a slight delay and a counter call by Archie Manning to Chuck Muncie, and Billy Newsom finally hung on long enough to bring him down. Second down, 3 yards to go. A pickup of 7. The Saints at their own 35-yard line. The Saints picked up 43 yards on the ground and 28 in the air and picked up 4 first downs in the first quarter. Mauti wide to the left. Here comes Herman out of the backfield and motion to the left. And the give now to Galbraith. Tries to run to the outside and gets up to the 38-yard line before his dump. Billy Newsom again making the tackle on the play with help from Don Reeves, the middle linebacker. It's going to be marked at the 37-yard line. Make it third down coming up now and a little bit shy of a yard.
Galbraith picked up 2 yards.
2 short drives in this football game so far. The Bears going 44 yards for their touchdown, capped by a 33-yard pass to Peyton. The Saints going 40 yards for their touchdown. So it's 7-7 with 13:50 to go in the half.
Both ends are in tight. Mauti lines up as a wing to the right. I formation on third down, less than a yard. And Galbraith moves. Still no call. The give to Galbraith. He didn't make it, I don't think. He took 4 steps towards the line, froze. Then Reeves was going to run across the line and bump somebody, and then he froze. No flags were thrown, and finally the call was made. They gave to Galbraith, who had no head start at all because he was right on Archie Manning's rump as he handed him the ball, and he was stacked up as he tried to hurdle the line, and I don't think he made it.
I don't think so either, and I thought sure there had to be an illegal shift in there. He shifted 2 different times.
Well, they're going to measure. He did indeed make some yardage up near the 38-yard line, and if that turns out to be a first down play, that will be one of the strangest of the year.
No, it's going to be close, I guarantee you that. Oh, boy, missed it by an inch.
Oh.
Maybe 2 inches short.
Fourth down and about 2 to 3 inches to go, according to the official.
Poetic justice.
He was lucky to get that much. Well, the Saints are going to go for it. A 7-7 tie early in the second period, they're going to go for it. Well, this will be long debated down in New Orleans if they fail to come up with it. Wing to the right, deuce backfield. The Bears jam up about 8 men on the line. And Manning hands to Galbraith, who dives for the first down, I believe, to the 39-yard line. He hurdled just right of the center and picked up the first down needed. John Hill and Emmanuel Zanders trying to block for him, but Galbraith just went airborne and picked up a yard. So the Saints maintain possession. That's 23 yards and 9 carries for Galbraith. Muncie has picked up 17 yards and 9 carries, and that's the 5th first down for the Saints this afternoon.
I don't understand that for the life of me. The Bears had to win. If he fails, the Bears get the football at the 38-yard line with the wind at their back.
All right, in the lineup now is Big Kim Jones, a 243-pound running back from Colorado State, in place of Galbraith. A handoff on a delay to Muncie, who's hit behind the line and goes down. It looked like a cross-up in the backfield, and on a delay, they gave to Muncie, and the entire Bear front wall was waiting for him. We'll see where they mark it.
Muncie brought down for a 2-yard ball.
The Saints aren't known for their offensive line. In fact, they went into the draft with the intention of drafting offensive linemen, but they wound up with a couple of defensive linemen because there weren't any good ones available.
Don Reeves led the Bear charge defensively, a loss of 2. It's second down and 12. The Saints on their own 37-yard line. Richard Mauti wide to the near side. Herman wide to the right. I formation. Back to pass. Manning pumps once, throws a stop-and-go pattern down the right sidelines, and it's caught but out of bounds by Dave Herman, who made a super grab, but he was at least a yard out of bounds. Incomplete. It'll be third down and 12. The old stop-and-go as he pump-faked and then lobbed it over the cornerback's head, and Herman made a fine grab, but he was at least a yard out of bounds over on the far sidelines.
To give you an indication of that Saints offensive line, Archie Manning has been sacked 13 times in the first 2 games. Granted, he's been playing some come-from-behind football, but still, Archie's pretty fast on his feet back there. You don't figure him to be sacked that many times.
Well, the Lions dumped him 6 times last week. The Packers sacked him 7 times in the first ball game. All right, back to pass on 3rd and 12 is Manning. Has time, throws it downfield. Mauti makes the grab in Bear territory and falls at the 42-yard line. Terry Schmidt covered him after he had sprawled on the AstroTurf, but it's a first down, and Manning is having an excellent afternoon passing, even though he's not putting it up too often. First down for the New Orleans Saints at the Bear 42-yard line, and Richard Mauti has just made his first NFL catch.
Second time the Saints have been inside the Bear 50-yard line now. Again, they're working into a 16-mile-an-hour wind.
Herman wide to the right, Mauti split wide to the near side. I formation. And they give to Muncie. Going to try the right side behind a couple of blockers. Running laterally, looking for running room. Angles across the 40-yard line, knocked out of bounds to the 39, and a penalty flag is thrown over on the far sidelines as Gary Fensick forced him out of bounds. Fensick had 17 tackles from a free safety position last week against the Cardinals. And you can look at that two different ways. Number one great performance by Fensick, and number two, the Bear linebackers in the front four weren't doing the job, because when you have a safety making that many tackles, you're usually in trouble.
Well, it's against New Orleans, and Henry Stram was standing right there and had no complaint whatsoever.
A holding call, and I'll tell you, I think it went against number 68, Terry Steve, a second-year pro out of Wisconsin, who rode the Bear blocker out to the sidelines. And that puts the ball back in the Saints territory at the 48-yard line. Makes it first down and 20 yards to go. 11:23 to play in the first half here. We're tied at 7. The Saints break the huddle and send Herman wide to the right. Mauti is split wide to the near side. The tight end is in the backfield, and now Thaxton shifts and moves up to the right side on a strong side right. Deuce backfield. Manning on a draw. Gives to Galbraith. Slides to the left side, cuts it up the middle across the 50-yard line. Still squirming and spinning his way and working for yardage inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. Wayman Bryant finally hauled him down with help from his friends. But the Bears right now not tackling very, very sharply and crisply behind the line. And the ball is at the 44-yard line. It's second down and 12, a gain of 8.
Minnesota now leads Green Bay 13-7 in the second quarter, and Dallas out in front of Tampa Bay 17-0 after one.
Foreman scored on a 3-yard run, and Cox's extra point attempt was blocked. Now they shift out of the I into the deuce. Second down, 12 from the Bear 44. And Manning fakes to Muncie, rolls back to the right. Big chase now. Eludes one man, eludes two men, running to the far side, throws on the move. Incomplete as Livers. And a penalty flag. Interference called on Livers at the 31-yard line as they shoved the intended receiver, Richard Mauti, away from the ball.
No question about it. However, I thought Doug Buffone got clipped going in from the left side of the Bear offensive line, but nothing was called there.
That was a late interference call, and I won't argue it because Livers did indeed give him a shove from behind and rode him off the ball. But Manning, running for his life, 15 yards behind the line of scrimmage, finally threw it on the move, and it's first down now at the Bear 30-yard line. And that's the third bid penalty against the Bears for a total of 39 yards.
Actually, it wasn't a bad penalty. It's almost like taking a guy down in hockey when he's got a breakaway, because had he made the catch, he might have made a big gain out of that because he had Livers beaten on the play. Livers' only chance was to try to get him at the time the receiver got the football, and he was too early.
Mauti wide to the left, Herman wide to the right, and Mauti comes back in motion towards the line. And the give goes to Galbraith, and Galbraith bounces off of one man and plows his way down to about the 26-yard line before Gary Fensick puts him down. Hartenstein is in the lineup now and got a piece of him on the play. And here comes Roger Stillwell off the bench to replace someone in the Bear front four, Jimmy Osborne.
Baltimore leads Buffalo 7-0 in the second quarter. Buffalo, in now 3 games, has scored only 1 touchdown. That was on a fumble return.
Well, Galbraith has picked up 35 yards and 11 carries today, and prior to the game today, he picked up 37 on 11 carries in 2 ball games. Mauti wide to the left, wide to the far right side is Herman. Deuce backfield, second down 6. The give to Muncie, trying the right side. He hurdles over one man and comes down right at the 25-yard line. There was no running room. Roger Stillwell, just off the bench for the Bears, made the tackle on the play, and now Osborne returns to the field of play. Muncie has picked up 16 yards and 11 carries, so they have shut him down pretty well today.
Galbraith already has 35 yards, and he came in with just 37 in his first 2 games. His average was 3.4, Muncie 4.4.
All right, Rydell out, Osborne in, and Reeves comes limping out, and Spivey comes in as the 5th defensive back. It's third down, 5 yards to go. The Saints at the Bear 25-yard line. Mauti wide to the near side. Herman split wide to the right, and Manning will throw on 3rd and 5. Has time. Now eludes the rush. Runs up the middle, and he gets away from one man inside the 20. Still on his feet at the 15, and spun down at the 11-yard line. Well, the Bear fans beginning to heap some verbal abuse on the defensive unit. Wayman Bryant and Roger Stillwell finally pinned Manning down as the eluded tacklers ran right up the middle, and he is the big ground gainer so far this afternoon, and the Saints have it first down to the Bear 11-yard line.
Missed tackles for the Bears again. That's the same thing that plagued them last week. Osborne had a chance, had him from behind the line of scrimmage, but it was a diving chance, actually, and
just barely hit his heel. First down for the Saints. Manning on a 14-yard scramble now has picked up 29 yards and 3 carries, including an 8-yard touchdown run. Herman wide to the right, Mauti wide to the left. And there's a fake and a slant into Mauti, and it's knocked down incomplete by Virgil Livers at the goal line.
There was a mix-up that time in the pattern because Mauti went straight into the end zone when Manning was expecting him to either button hook or to cut inside.
Second down, 10. The Saints at the Bear 11-yard line. The Saints trying to go ahead in this ball game. With 8:27 left to go in the first half, it's tied at 7. Manning taking a long time calling the play on this particular occasion. And now they're going to put Herman in the slot to the left. This is the first time we've seen this alignment. High formation. Manning, play action fake to Muncie. Sets up the pass. Throws down the middle. Caught for the tight end. Paxton spins away at the 5 and gets to the 2 to the 1-yard line.
Oh, brother.
Gary Fitzik made the tackle, but it was Don Reeves that hit him at the 5-yard line. He spun right away from Reeves and carried down to the 1-yard line.
Reeves had him dead to rights at the 5, wrapped both arms right around his legs, and couldn't bring him down.
Well, it's not quite a first down. It's going to be third down, less than a yard. The ball is about, less than a foot outside the 1-yard line. Manning is 4 out of 6 for 60 yards. But more importantly, he has kept this drive alive with his feet. Wing to the right. Now coming in motion to the left side is Mauti. And Manning, bootlegs to the right. He's going to run it in, and he's got it. Touchdown. Archie Manning on a bootleg roll to the right side, and Manning has scored both touchdowns for the Saints here this afternoon. And New Orleans has taken a 13-7 lead with 7:36 to go in the half. Well, Mr. Manning having himself quite an afternoon. With 4 out of 6 in the passing department, he has now picked up 31 yards and 4 carries and scored twice. And the Saints are on top, and Zarro will look for the 14th point. Blanchard, the punter, will hold. The snap is a good one, and Zarro left foots it through the uprights, and the Saints have taken a 14-7 lead here in Chicago. 14-7 the score. The Saints, who were stung early by Avellini and Walter Payton, have now rallied for 2 touchdowns on the right arm and the strong legs of quarterback Archie Manning, who has scored twice here today. One on an 8-yard run up the middle, that one on a 1-yard plus bootleg to the right. And they've taken a 14-7 lead. They went 72 yards in 16 plays.
That was an impressive drive, and again, remember they went for it on 4th and an inch back in their own 38.
There's a knuckleball kick, scribbed down the near sidelines, and Walter Scheid picks it up and steps out of bounds with it on the 21-yard line. Had he let it go, it would have been a 5-yard penalty. And there's another very critical mistake by a young man who really should have let that ball go, because there was no doubt about it. It was going to cross the sidelines, and when he picked it up, he was less than 6 inches away and then stepped on the sideline. So no run back on the kickoff, and the Bears will have it at the 20-yard line.
Bears are playing about as bad as I've seen them, and that counts the preseason. They've just made stupid mistakes. That was one of them, and they're missing tackles. Archie Manning is making them look silly out there. They're playing embarrassing football here in the first half against the Saints, a team they should beat rather easily, I think.
Rather wide to the left, Scott wide to the right. Deuce backfield, and Avellini, play action fake to Harper, swings it out in the right flat to Payton, spins away from one man. Westbrook, he's at the 25 to 30, and gets out to the 33-yard line before Pollard makes a shoestring grab. A fine move by Payton, catching the ball on the right flat, then juking by the corner of the linebacker, Greg Westbrooks, and he just picked up 13 yards on the play. First down for the Bears, and Payton has caught both Avellini completions today for 46 yards. Well, maybe that will shake up the Bear offensive unit and get them rolling.
That's what they need. They got that first touchdown, took a 7-0 lead, and then went as flat as a tire.
Wide to the left is Scott, and the slot to the left is Schubert, I formation. And Avellini gives to Payton, running to the left side, and he gets to the 35-yard line before he's brought down by Joe Petersfeld, the linebacker, and also Derlin Moore.
Carries for 3 yards.
A gain of 3. It's second down and 7. The ball at the Bear 35-yard line.
Second down.
Oh, the Patriots appear to be taking the Jets for granted, although they lead now 20-14 in the third quarter. That figured to be a lopsided game, though the Jets haven't got a thing. Pittsburgh now leads Cleveland 21-14 in the third quarter. That's a good game.
Scott wide to the left. Rather wide to the near side. Deuce backfield, and Avellini drops straight back to pass. No window dressing on this one. Completes it to Harper. Gets upfield at the 48-yard line, but a penalty flag is thrown. Jim Burlow, the linebacker, made the tackle on the play, but it looks like an offensive holding call against the Bears' offensive line.
Well, it gets set for some boos.
Well, that'll nullify another fine completion. Avellini's had 2 called back that he has completed this afternoon. He is 2 for 5.
And he's also had 2 dropped.
Now, Schubert comes back in from the near sidelines, bringing in a play, and that is the 4th penalty, all of the majors against the Bears in the first half. They've been penalized 49 yards. Back to the 35-yard line. It's now 2nd down, 17 for the Bears.
The Bears made a lot of penalties in the preseason. They always make a lot of penalties, but in the first 2 games, they cut that down. Now they're back to it again.
Noah Jackson was guilty that time. Schubert wide to the near side, split wide to the left is James Scott. And the handoff goes to Harper, and Pollard makes the stop. Little yardage on the play. May have gotten 3 on the play. Make that Walter Payton, I'm sorry, and the ball is out across the 27. It'll be 3rd down and 15 yards to go. Rather comes back in, bringing in a play.
With the wind at their back, I got to think the Bears are going to go for a home run in this play. Why not?
Well, it's 3rd and 15 at their own 27. Rather comes wide to the near side, and Scott splits wide to the left.
Maybe a halfback option.
Avellini to throw. Throws a long sideline down the left side, and Scott drops the ball at the 48-yard line. It was a bit behind him. He turned and reached for it, let it slip right through.
Oh, it was a beautifully positioned ball. Avellini had to finesse the pass to get it between 2 defenders, and through. Scott had to turn around to get the ball, but it was right there, right at his belt buckle, and he dropped it. That's the 3rd pass Avellini's had right on target, and he's had them all dropped. He's only completed 2 out of 6 now, but it's not his fault.
And 2 others have been called back with a penalty flag. 4th down, and Parsons in the punt. Mauti is the single safety standing at the Saints' 23-yard line. There's the snap. Not much of a rush on, and Parsons hammers one in over in. The line driver taken by Mauti at the 25, eludes one man, cuts the field at the 30, spins away at the 35, and Art Best over the top with Robin Earl making the tackle down low. Finally put him down at the 35-yard line. About a 10-yard return on a 46-yard Bob Parsons punt. So now the Saints will have it at their own 36-yard line with 5:20 to go in the half. New Orleans leading 14-7. Now, apparently, there was a penalty flag on that play. The Bears may have released a bit too soon. Or their players scattered all over the field.
Well, if they did, I think they would decline it because they've got pretty good field position, 36-yard line.
Well, they're not listening to us. They're going to bring it back. And the Bears will do it all over again. This time it'll be 4th down and 20 yards to go from the Bear 22-yard line.
Okay, remember that. They were at the 36-yard line with that. We'll see if they improve that.
Steve Schubert comes out. He looks very disgusted right now.
I think there's a lot of disgusted people down there on the Bears sideline.
Well, Parsons will kick it away once again. Mauti will stand now at the Saints' 26-yard line. And the Bears are going to regroup once again. The official was late in spotting the football. Now they break out of the huddle. Dan Neal, who centers on all kicking occasions, up over the ball. Parsons will deliver this one from about his own 12-yard line. There's the snap, and there's the kick. And a rush was on, and he hits a high booming spiral. Mauti waits for it at the 25. Gives ground, running to the right side. Slips, stays on his feet, tripped up again, and he's going to be hit. Spun out of bounds at about the 29-yard line. They never did get him down, but about 3 Bears had shots at him. Well, they lost 7 yards on the 5-yard penalty, and the Saints will have it. A 43-yard punt by Parsons. And they're going to mark the ball, apparently, at the 28-yard line. Timeout with a score. The Saints 14, the Bears 7. Well, correction on Parsons' punting yardage on the last boomer. He got 53 yards. And the Saints, by not taking the ball when they had it at the 36-yard line, just lost a total of 8 yards. Now they shift into the eye with Thaxton, the tight end, moving up on the left side. And Manning gives off to Muncy, trying the right side, runs right into Doug Buffone. He's going nowhere, and Buffone finally wears him and throws him down at the 20-yard line. Doug Buffone, the 11-year veteran from Louisville on the left side, made the tackle on the play, and they will give him, of course, his farthest forward penetration. And that will be spotted at the 27-yard line. A loss of a yard. Well, we'll call it second down and 10. He lost about 2 feet on the play. Myers is out, and Hartenstein is back in.
Bear left side of the defensive line really folded up that offensive line of the Saints.
Mauti wide to the left. Now shifting out of the backfield and motion to the right goes Herman. And a draw up the middle to Galbraith. Breaks one tackle and struggles across the 30 to the 31-yard line. And the Bear defense seems to be tightening up a bit now. Making the tackle on the play was Mike Hartenstein. With Reeves and also Bensick helping out on the play. Well, Muncie has been shut down very good here in the first half. He's picked up only 16 yards and 12 carries. Galbraith has picked up 38 and 12. The ball at the 31-yard line. It'll be third down and 7. 3:55 left to go in the first half. The Saints have the ball and the lead at 14-7. Manning back to pass. Sets up. Under pressure. Throws. Knocked down by Allen Ellis. Incomplete at the 42-yard line. At that time, the Bears had it well covered. Bensick was there, too. The ball was intended for Dave Herman. And Ellis broke it up.
Bears were in a zone, and Manning forced the ball into that zone, and he's lucky he didn't get it picked off, actually. There were 3 Bears around the play, but Phone was also over there.
7 yards to go. Fourth down, 7 yards to go, and the Bear defense is held. 3:44 to go in the half, and the Bears drop 3 men back. Schubert will be the deepest of the 3 in the center of the field at the Bear 31. Blanchard set the kick against a very strong wind. There's the snap. The Bears going for field position here. There's the kick, and he hits a nice one, a spiral, driving Schubert all the way back to the 24. Down to the 25, puts a juke step on, gets to the 30, hurdles one man, and gets busted down at the 36-yard line. Fine return by Steve Schubert. Making the tackle on the play was John Watson. And with 3:33 to go in the half, let's pause for this timeout with a score. The Saints 14, the Bears 7.
Round, round, get around, I get around. Yeah, get around, round, round, I get around. Get around, round, round, I get around. Get around, round, round.
Now you can get around better in the south suburbs. Whether you're heading for Lincoln Mall or Park Forest Plaza, the Richmond Park IC station, or rapid transit to the Loop, you'll get around better because the RTA is expanding old routes and creating new ones. They're bringing buses to neighborhoods and places they've never served before, like Governor State University and the Granary. And to help you get acquainted with the new service and get around a little better, RTA's prepared a South Suburban Information Kit. To get yours just right, RTA, 300 North State Street, Chicago, Illinois, 60610, and ask for the South Suburban Kit. Once again, that's RTA, 300 North State Street, Chicago, Illinois, 60610. Now you know a better way to get around.
Only one radio station brings you the Chicago Bears, the baseball playoffs, and the World Series. News Radio 78, WBBM, Chicago.
Joe McConnell and Brad Palmer back at sunny Soldier Field in Chicago. A 12-yard return by Schubert of a 45-yard Tom Blanchard punt into the teeth of the 17-mile-an-hour wind here. And on the punt return, Joe Campbell, the number 1 draft choice for the Saints out of Maryland, the defensive lineman, was helped off the field, apparently a knee injury. The Bears will put it in play from their own 36-yard line. Avellini, play-action fake, rolls to the right, throws it out of the backfield, and Roland Harper drops the ball. In the clear at the 45-yard line, and he couldn't hang on as again. Avellini laid it right in there. This is incredible. He is 2 for 7 for 45 yards, and Payton is the only one who's been able to hang on to the ball today.
It's 4 drop passes.
Schubert in now, bringing in a play from the near sidelines. It's second down 10. The Bears at their own 36-yard line.
Harper's dropped 2. James Scott dropped 1. Bo Rathers dropped 1. Tampa Bay finally scored against Dallas on a 37-yard fumble return. 17-7 Dallas leads.
Slot to the left, I formation. Second down 10. The Bears at their own 36-yard line. Avellini pitch now to Payton, trying to cut to the right side. Got a block, and he gets to the 40-yard line. Knocked out of bounds at that point. Fine block thrown by Greg Latta. Craig Cassidy, the left side cornerback, knocked him out of bounds at the 40-yard line. It'll be third down coming up now and about 5 yards to go.
At Pontiac, Philadelphia leads the Lions now, 13-10, third quarter. 2 Jaworski passes for the Eagle touchdowns. They missed an extra point. They lead by 3 in the third quarter.
Payton's caught 2 for 45, and he's rushed for 27 on 8 carries here in the first half. Rather wide to the left, Scott wide to the near side. Third down, 5 yards to go. The Bears just shy of their own 41-yard line. Avellini, play action fake, bootlegs to the right, try the same play to Harper, who drops it again, and it's intercepted on the deflection by Chuck Crisp. Incredible. The same play. Harper dropped it both times, and this time it was deflected right to the safety, Chuck Crisp, to make the diving interception at the Bear 47-yard line.
You got to see it to believe it. That one again was right in the stomach. He had the first down and bounced right out. I don't know what the Bears are trying to do. They've got 2 hands. They all have 5 fingers on each hand, and all they got to do is use them. They're trying to use their arms, their stomach, their shoulder pads, everything but their hands.
And Harper is hurt on the play.
Oh, boy. At Atlanta, Falcons lead the Giants 10-0, third quarter. Some people like the Giants in that game. You know, Atlanta went into that game without committing a turnover in the first 2 games.
Well, that's a third interception now that Bob Avellini has given up, and that certainly shouldn't be charged to him. And Harper, who dropped the ball again, was shaken up on the play and is being helped off on the near sidelines. Apparently, his limbs are all right, which is the first thing you look for. He may have gotten popped in the head as he fell to the turf.
I thought he had the wind knocked out of him. I'm not sure if it was knocked out by the ball or the tackler.
Walter Payton, his running mate, over there very closely checking things out as Ted Fox and the Bear trainer talk to Roland Harper. So now, with the turnover, the Saints have the ball at the Bear 46-yard line, 2:39 to go in the half. New Orleans leading 14-7. Slot to the left side, I formation. Now in motion out of the slot to the right goes Don Herman. And a handoff goes to Muncie. Running to the right side, breaks by Fensick. He hangs on long enough to bring him down at the 41-yard line. Fensick just seemed to slide right down and hung on to that ankle, and Muncie finally tumbles to the turf at the 41-yard line. A pickup of 5, it'll be 2nd and 5. So the Bears can't seem to do anything right today. They're dropping passes right and left. They're missing tackles, and the Saints are taking advantage of it, leading 14-7 now on 2nd down 5 at the Bear 41. Closing in on the 2-minute warning here in the first half. The stacked offense, now they shift into the deuce with wide receivers on either side. Mauti to the left, Herman to the right. Handoff goes to Galbraith. Right up the middle. Breaks one tackle. Inside the 35 to the 33, a first down. Gary Fensick again makes the tackle in the Bears secondary. And he may well be the leading tackler on the Bear Ball Club again this afternoon. Well, the 2-minute warning now has been given to both coaches, Jack Pardee and Hank Stram. We'll pause for the moment with a score. The 49ers, the New Orleans Saints 14, the Bears 7. Well, the Saints will have the ball at the Bear 33-yard line with 1:59 to go in the half, leading 14-7, thanks to a tremendous amount of Bear mistakes here in the first half. Penalties, dropped passes, missed tackles. Been a very sloppy first half for the monsters of the Midway before their old grads.
I've got to think the Bears will get it together in the second half. They've had a lot of preseason games where they played just 15 minutes of football.
Herman wide to the right, both in-state, in-tight. Hand off to Muncie, who tried to hurdle one man and goes down at the 35-yard line. A beautiful tackle by Doug Buffone, who is certainly playing well this afternoon. That may be that's at least the second tackle, and maybe the third that Buffone has taken part in that has lost yardage. It's at the 35-yard line, a loss of 1. It's 2nd and 11. Go ahead.
The Bears just aren't that good that they can afford to take teams lightly. Sure, they figured to win this football game, and they're playing like they figured to win, but they're not winning it because of Archie Manning, drop passes, and mistakes.
They're still talking to Roland Harper behind the Bear sideline here. Now the Bears are jamming the middle here. Manning now calling an audible. Now the Bears back off the line, and Manning drops back to pass. Sets up, looks, throws over the middle, and it's incomplete, and there were Bears all over the place. It was intended for Richard Mauti, and there were 4 Bears surrounding Mauti as the ball fell incomplete. It'll be 3rd down and 11, and a penalty flag was dropped in the Saints' backfield, and it could be an offensive holding call. Yes, it is.
Bears faking the safety blitz that time as Fensick ran in and then ran back out again.
Davey Witzel, a former Chicago Bear who was a member of the secondary in their last World Championship football team in 1963, is the all-time leading interceptor for the New Orleans Saints. Picked off 19 in his 3 seasons down in New Orleans and had 10, which is a single-season club record, his very first year in New Orleans in 1967.
The Detroit Lions have scored on a Landry to Bussey pass, and now they're back in front of Philadelphia 17-13 in the third quarter at Pontiac.
Spivey in to play the right corner as the Bears pull out Reeves, the middle linebacker, and they'll go with a nickel defense. 5 defensive backs in there now. 3rd down 11. The Saints at the Bear 34-yard line. Mauti wide to the near side. Herman split wide to the right, and Manning back to pass. Runs out of the pocket, still on his feet, now throws, and it's caught by Muncie at the 20, the 10, the 5, touchdown! Manning throwing on the run. Lobbed it down the right sideline to Chuck Muncy gathered it in and went untouched down the right sidelines for the score. The Saints have taken a 20-7 lead. Oh, what a ball game the redhead from Ole Miss is having here this afternoon.
Boy, I guess. The Bears, he couldn't find anybody. He started to scramble out to his right and found a receiver open all by himself. And it's the Bears look to be in a zone that time, which makes it a little difficult to assess the blame. Nobody was near the man whatsoever. Muncy sprinted 20 yards into the end zone after he caught it, and nobody had a shot at him. So just say the zone broke down.
Zarl to try for the 21st point. The ball is down, the kick is up, and it's good, and the Saints have taken a surprising 21-7 lead here in the first half at Soldier Field with 1:04 to go. And the interception on the drop pass set that one up, and Muncy got the touchdown on a 34-yard pass and run from Archie Manning, who is having a sensational ball game here this afternoon. Incredible.
21-7. We've only got a minute and 4 seconds to go to the half. The Bears are going to obviously have to regroup. They had the Lions on the ropes at halftime in the first game of the year right here at Soldier Field. The Lions got back into the football game. That's what the Bears are going to have to do today. But to do that, they're going to have to start catching some passes. They've already dropped 4 Bob Avellini passes. One of them resulted in an interception, and that resulted in that last touchdown. And just mistakes that are killing the Bears this afternoon.
46 yards and 5 plays set up for the interception after Rowan Harper had dropped his second straight pass on the right flat. He was shaken up on the play and is still on the bench behind the Bear sidelines. There's a bouncer down the middle picked off by Robin Earl. He's to the 30, the 35, and dives his way to the 38-yard line. Big Robin Earl, the third-round draft choice out of Washington, a 245-pound running back, and we may see him in the lineup now. Steve Baumgartner made the tackle on the play, along with Jimmy Marcellus, who was just re-signed and activated by the Saints this week. The Bears have it at their own 37-yard line with 1 minute to go in the half, trailing 21-7.
Doesn't seem possible.
Oh, it is very possible. Slot to the near right side. Schubert inside Rather. As Scott is out of the line. No, they've got Scott in there. 3 wide receivers. Avellini throws, and it's caught! Wait! Rather, a sensational catch. He was flat on his back when he caught the ball at the 40-yard line. Incredible catch by Bo Rather, who slipped and fell and was laid flat on his back when the ball arrived and still hung on.
Oh, what a great pass by Avellini, too. It was right there. He's been on target all afternoon. They've just been dropping them. They drop the easy ones, they catch the hard ones. You figure it.
First down for the Bears at the Saint 40-yard line, and they've called a timeout with 51 seconds to go. They have dropped passes that have been thrown right in the breadbasket, and then on that one, Rather caught it while he was flat on his back. An incredible catch. Well, maybe that will wake the offense up.
Well, it woke the crowd up.
Well, the Bears have used the first of their 3 allotted timeouts in the half. They went with 3 wide receivers that time as they pulled the tight end. Scott was wide to the left, and Rather and Schubert were wide to the near side. Avellini checking on the near sidelines, conferring with Jack Pardee, now returns to the Bear huddle.
This is going to be a big shot in the arm. The Bears can put some points on the board and go in at halftime. At least they salvage something here. And it'll give them a little lift for that second half.
That's the 4th first down in the half for the Bears. Again, 3 wide receivers. Scott wide to the left, Schubert in the slot to the right. Avellini back to pass. Winds up, throws under heavy traffic. Caught by Schubert at the 21. As Avellini hooks up with 2 in a row, the Bears call another timeout with 43 seconds to go. Chuck Crisp made the tackle, but Schubert on a crossover made a great grab, and they mark it at the Saints' 22-yard line. An 18-yard pickup. Rather's catch was good for 22, so the Bears have gained 40 yards in 2 plays. And Avellini would have a sensational game going himself if it wasn't for the drop passes now. Continues to find his receivers.
Red Grange is sitting behind us. I was ready to send Red back out there on the field the way the Bears were going there.
Roll number 77.
And I think he's 78 years old now.
Well, it's homecoming for George Halas, the Chicago Bears, and all their illustrious alums here this afternoon. And Boy, if the Bears can get back on the board here at the end of the first half, that should give them tremendous momentum going into the second half.
Well, they certainly should, because there's 43 seconds remaining, and they've got the wind at their back, so I don't think there'll be any problem kicking a field goal. But they're down at that south end, and the wind can sometimes be a problem, but they're so close now. Let's see, if they had to kick one right now, I got to think they're going to get closer. It'll be a 40-yard field goal with a 17-mile-an-hour wind at the back.
Avellini rejoins his teammates. First down for the Bears at the Saints' 22-yard line. They break the huddle. Big Robin Earl is the running back as Roland Harper got shaken up in the last series. Slot to the right. Scott is wide to the left, and Avellini will throw. Looking, rolling to the right, looking downfield. Throws on the move. Caught! And out of bounds is Rather. Rather makes the sideline cut to the 7-yard line. He was knocked out of bounds by Craig Cassidy. I don't think he came down inbounds, but Cassidy knocked him out of bounds, which allows the completion, and it should be first and goal.
Craig Cassidy, the son of the former Heisman Trophy winner from Ohio State, Howard Hopalong Cassidy, and he's playing at the corner because of the injury to Ernie Jackson.
All right, Roland Harper back in, replacing Robin Earl. First and goal. The Bears at the New Orleans Saints 8-yard line. Avellini is hooked up on 3 straight. He's now 5 of 11 for an even 100 yards. Scott wide to the left. Again, Schubert and Rather wide to the right. Deuce backfield. First and goal from the 8-yard line. Avellini set the throw, swings it out the left side, caught by Harper. He's at the 10, the 5, touchdown! But there's a penalty flag thrown. A penalty flag thrown, and I think it'll be called back.
It's going to be against the Bears. Piper and Jackson did a good job blocking. I don't know, maybe they did too good. That's about where the penalty flag came. It was down there inside the 5-yard line.
The penalty flag is right on the goal line. And that's going to take a touchdown away from the Bears.
Well, it's a holding call. It may have been against Piper or Jackson. They certainly gave a good hold to Harper that time.
64 yards and penalties against the Bears in the first half. Well, there's 31 seconds left to go. Now it'll be first and goal from the New Orleans 18-yard line. Boy, when things go wrong, they all go wrong, even when you're going good. And the Bears have had a sensational late first half drive here, and the touchdown was denied. Now they've got to go after it once again. Now Bashnagel is in the slot to the left, inside of Rather. Scott wide to the near right side. Avellini back to throw. Has time. Looking, throws in the middle. Caught at the 3-yard line. And we'll wait and see the receiver in. It's Bo Rather, his 3rd catch of this drive. Now the Bears will line up without a huddle. 22 seconds to go. And now the Bears use their 3rd and final timeout. They're at the 4-yard line. And Avellini has got a tremendous string going right now. He is 6 for 12. He has completed 4 straight on this drive and had 1 called back.
He should be 10 for 12. Now, 22 seconds to go. Does it remind anybody of a week ago in St. Louis with 19 seconds left? The Bears are out of timeouts now. The clock is going to continue to run. They've got to put the ball into the end zone to stop the clock. Either get the touchdown or an incomplete pass will stop the clock. If anybody gets cut short of the goal line, they're going to be lucky to get off another play.
Well, Schubert started out. Now he and Avellini are conferring as they rejoin the Bears, who are huddling up inside the Saints' 15-yard line.
Would you believe the Jets lead the New England Patriots? It's 21-20 in the 4th quarter. The Jets leading the Patriots.
Boy, what a shocker that would be. Well, the Bears have it at the Saints' 4-yard line. This has been a tremendous late first half drive. Slot to the left, Rather wide to the left. Schubert in the slot. Deuce backfield. Second down, goal from the 4. Avellini to throw. Puts it on the right side. It's dropped incomplete. Intending for Roland Harper, I believe, who really didn't have a clean shot at the ball there. Make that Walter Payton.
Well, it's a good thing he dropped it because he would have been tackled on the 2-yard line, and the clock very easily could have run out. They might not have gotten off another play, so good thing he dropped that one.
19 seconds to go in the half. Bashnagel in, Schubert out. 3rd down and goal from the 4-yard line. Wide to the near side is Scott. Slot to the left. Deuce backfield. Avellini to throw. Looking. Into the end zone. It's tipped, juggled, and dropped. Incomplete. The pass was tipped, and it left Avellini's hands, and the ball was deflected and knocked loose. James Scott made a valiant effort to try to pick it off with Tommy Myers draped all over it. Well, the Bears have to go for the 3 points now because it's 4th down. You got to come up with something here in this drive. tipping that ball, rushing in on the play, was Big Mike Fultz, their number 2 draft choice out of Nebraska, a 278-pounder who's 6'5".
That was the worst ball Avellini's thrown all day. In fact, probably the only bad pass he threw. So it was a wobbly pass. It was a little behind the receiver.
But it was tipped, though, Brad, and that's why. All right, Thomas will try the field goal. It'll be a 22-yarder. Bashnagel puts the ball down, and Thomas hammers it through. And the score now is 21-10, and the Bears do come up with a field goal. They went 57 yards in 6 plays. There were several penalties called, and of course the big one called back a touchdown. So the Bears do come up with a field goal with 10 seconds to play in the half. It's now 21-10. So the Saints have to feel very, very fortunate.
Yeah, I'd say the Saints got a little lift from that. It was a lift for both teams, actually. The Bears had to come up with some points on the board. And now they're only down by 11 points as they will be going into the locker room shortly, providing they cover this kickoff well. There's 10 seconds left. The Bears will be kicking with the wind on this. They were the first to score. They took a 7-0 lead on a 33-yard pass from Avellini to Walter Payton, but after that it was all downhill. Nobody could hang on to an Avellini pass no matter how good it was thrown. And Archie Manning just eluded the Bear defense all afternoon. He set up just about all of their touchdowns, either running or passing. He's had a good afternoon so far.
Well, the wind blows the ball off the tee, and so Thomas sets it up once again. Now, the Saints are all coming up close. They're expecting an onside kick.
Manning took the Bears apart in that preseason game. He was 9 for 14 for 170 yards. Made a couple of big passes to Owens and Burton, both of whom are on the injured reserve list right now. And even without those two, without their 2 starting cornerbacks, they lead 21-10.
Bears went 57 yards in 6 plays, as we mentioned, and had the touchdown called back. But that's as sharp as Avellini has looked all year. In fact, he has looked sharp all day.
Yes, he has.
Now, Bashnagel is going to hold the ball. The Saints have 6 men up at the Bear 45-yard line. There's the kick, and he hits it away straight. Waiting for it is Muncy, all the way back at the 2-yard line, to the 10, to the 15, to the 20. And he spins and is hit and finally pulled down by Gary Campbell at the 23-yard line, and that should just about use up all the time.
3 seconds left, and they're going into the wind, so they'll just fall on the football in this play. We'll be talking with Red Grange shortly. He's sitting up in the booth behind us.
Halftime score, Brad, 13-7, the Vikes over the Green Bay Packers up in Bloomington.
Doesn't surprise me. Does it surprise you?
No. Yeah, it surprises me it's that close. But the Vikes have had problems. Wide to the right now goes Herman. Both ends are in tight. Manning just falls on the ball, and that'll be the end of the first half here at Soldier Field with a score. The New Orleans Saints 21, the Chicago Bears 10.
And now the halftime recap, sponsored by Gold Eagle Automotive Chemicals and Kaufman and Broad Homes. Joe McConnell will have a recap of the scoring right after this.
You know, over the last 20 years, over 100,000 families have chosen new homes built by Kaufman and Broad. And they've done it for some pretty good reasons, like an unwavering insistence on quality design, workmanship, and materials, like in-depth community and environmental planning, like an ongoing research program to conserve energy and improve construction methods. Why not visit a Kaufman and Broad home community today and discover for yourself why your family will love a Kaufman and Broad home?
You'll find all the reasons you need at Woodgate Park Estates, a community of beautiful 3- and 4-bedroom single-family homes priced from just $49,490, including extras like attached garage, dishwasher, range and oven, wall-to-wall carpeting. Excellent financing is available, and you can move in immediately, so why not visit Woodgate today? Take Cicero Avenue or I-57 south to Vollmer Road, go west to Central Avenue, then turn south to Woodgate's furnished model homes. For information, phone Kaufman and Broad at 720-2565.
Halftime here at Soldier Field in Chicago. The Saints lead the Bears 21-10. The Bears scored first on a 33-yard touchdown pass, Bob Avellini to Walter Payton. It was set up by a nice 23-yard punt return by Steve Schubert. Then Archie Manning, putting it out of the backfield, ran for 8 yards for the tying score as the Saints marched 40 yards in 6 plays, and it was 7-7 at the end of the first period. Then in the second quarter, Manning again, scrambling, bootlegging to his right, ran the final 1+ yard for a touchdown to cap a 72-yard, 16-play drive. Sarles' extra point made it 14-7 in favor of the Saints. Then on a drop pass attempted for Roland Harper, Chuck Christ came up with a diving interception at the Bear 46, and 5 plays later, it was Chuck Muncie on a 34-yard run after a pass from Archie Manning, putting the Saints on top 21-7. Then the Bears, with Avellini connecting on 4 straight, marched it all the way down, had a touchdown pass to Roland Harper called back, had to settle for a short 22-yard chip shot from Bob Thomas, his 4th field goal of the season. And so here at halftime, the scoreboard reads, the New Orleans Saints 21, the Chicago Bears 10. For Chicago Bears 77 from Soldier Field after this. Second half, and the Bears will receive. The Saints won the toss in the first half and elected to kick off. So this is one of the rare occasions where you'll see a team receive in both halves. The Bears trailing 21-10. Zorro has it teed up on the northern 35 with a 17-mile-an-hour wind behind him. Moves forward and puts the foot into the ball and line drives it and hooks it deep. And Vince Evans is going to run it out from 8 yards deep. To the 10, to the 15, to the 20, and to the 21-yard line. A 29-yard return. He caught that ball 8 yards deep in the end zone and decided to come upfield with it.
Brought down by
King Ray and Jones brought him down. It'll be first down at the Bear 21-yard line. And Avellini, who led that sensational late first half drive, rejoins his teammates on the field.
In that drive, Bo Rather caught 3 passes for 50 yards. That makes him the leading receiver. He also had one of the 4 passes that were dropped in that first half.
All right, Scott, wide to the left. The Bears going with 3 wide receivers. Slot to the right, and Avellini to throw on first down. Out of the backfield, and it's caught by Harper. He's got some running room at the 30, and goes down to the 34-yard line. Trying to make a cut for additional yardage upfield. Craig Cassidy made the stop on the play, but the Bears are rolling on the first play of the second half.
Did you notice how deliberate Harper was on that catch? He just stood there and made sure he had it before he started to run. Very deliberate, and a first down right off the bat. No, just shy. I'm sorry. Is it a first down or not?
It is a first down. A gain of 13. First down for the Bears at their own 34-yard line. Bashnagel bringing a play in the slot to the left side. Inside Bo Rather with Scott wide to the right. The Bears will be throwing this half for sure. The give now to Payton. Tries the left side and gets stonewalled and knocked down for a yard loss at the 34-yard line. Make it the line of scrimmage. It'll be second down and 5. Joe Fettersfield, the middle linebacker, made the contact on the play.
Payton ran for 29 yards in the first half. Roland Harper for 15, the leading ground gainer in the first half. Tony Galbraith with 42 yards. Archie Manning was next with 30 yards, and Muncie was held only 19 yards, an average of 1.5 yards a carry.
The Bears going with 3 wide receivers. Slot to the right, Scott wide to the left. Avellini back to pass on 2nd and 9. Swings it out of the backfield, caught by Harper. Tries to break away and can't do so as Merlot spins him around and drops him at the 41-yard line. That was one-on-one. The running back on the A and B circle out of the backfield, and the left side linebacker, Joe Merlot, who did make the tackle on the play.
Saints outgained the Bears in that first half, 185 yards to 157. That's total net yardage. Saints had 12 first downs, the Bears only 6.
Now the Bears put Latta in at tight end and pulled 2 wide receivers. Both Scott and Rather lead the field of play. It'll be third down and 3. The Bears on their own 41-yard line. The first possession of the second half. And it turned out to be a rather chilly but a bright, sunshiny day here. The Saints are stunning at the line. The give now to Payton. Payton wanting to go to the outside is chopped down for a loss back in the 39. A loss of 2. The Saints had 8 men up on the line of scrimmage, and Westbrooks and Myers combined to bring him down. So the Bears fizzle after a quick first down, and it'll be 4th down at the 40-yard line, a loss of 1 for Walter. 4th down, 4 yards to go. And Parsons in to punt against the wind, and Richard Mauti, the youngster from Penn State, is back to receive the punt at about the 22-yard line. A low snap, but it's fielded on the hop by Parsons, and he gets it away. And Mauti catches the ball, and a fair catch at the Saints' 33-yard line. That was a low snap that bounced off the AstroTurf, and it was short-hopped beautifully by Parsons, who got the kick away. 37-yard punt, and a timeout is called here at the offset of the third quarter with a score. The Saints 21, the Bears 10.
On Decker beer. You may not be drinking it now, but you will. On Decker. You may not think a beer this expensive could be worth the extra money, but you will. On Decker, brewed with a special rich malt, flavored with the finest of imported choice hops, patiently, properly aged. You don't know what a difference that makes. But you will. Ondecker, the most expensive taste in beer. If you're not drinking it now, you will. Ondecker, the most expensive taste in beer.
Ben Arden and the Big Bear Band playing the theme from Rocky, and of course it's going to be an uphill climb for the Bears here in the second half. Trailing 21-10, the Saints will put it in play from their own 32-yard line. They line up in the stack offense. Now they shift to the slot left. Deuce backfield. Here's the call by Archie Manning, who had a great first half. To give to Galbraith. Tries the left side and then runs it upfield across the 35 to the 37-yard line, where Don Reeves makes the tackle on the play. Coming into the game today, Reeves was second on the Bear defensive unit with 21 tackles, 13 solos, and Gary Fensick, who moved over to strong safety and had a busy first half today, led the club with 25 tackles, 17 solos.
Big upset in the making at Shea Stadium. The Jets lead the New England Patriots 27-20, and they're late in the fourth quarter of that game.
Herman wide to the near side. Mauti split wide to the left. Deuce backfield shifting out of the eye on 2nd and 5. And the give goes to Muncie. Tries the right side and gets buried at about the 39-yard line. Gary Fensick again in on the tackle with help from Osborne and Myers. So now it'll be third down coming up for the Saints and 3 yards to go. They've contained Muncie today, but they've not been able to shut down Archie Manning. 21 yards and 14 carries for Muncie, who was the leading ground gainer coming into the game today for the Saints. But Manning's picked up 30 and Galbraith picked up 47. 3rd and 3 at the Saints 39. Again, Herman wide to the near side. Mauti split wide to the left. Now Herman comes in motion, moving to the left side, bringing Alan Ellis over with him, and the give to Galbraith, tries it, and is anchored, surges again, and got close to the first down up near the 42.5-yard line. He was pinned, but not contained at the 42-yard line, and got another half a yard or so. Reeves and Fensick again combining on the tackle. Jerry Myers also in there, and now I believe we're going to have a measurement.
I think they have it by 3 or 4 inches. Bradshaw has passed for 3 touchdowns and has sneaked for another. Pittsburgh leads Cleveland 28-14. That game in the fourth quarter. Baltimore leads Buffalo at the half 10-7.
First down, right in the middle of the ball. Another 20/20 vision by Brad Palmer.
I was 3 inches off, Joe. I can't take credit for 3 or 4 inches. How long is that football anyway? Minnesota leads Green Bay 13-7 at the half. Dallas leads Tampa Bay 27 at the half.
All right, Mauti split wide to the left. Both ends are in tight, and they stay there on the shift. High formation. Manning play action fake to Muncie. Drops back to pass. Goes for it all. Instead of a big tight end. Buxton, he's got it. And he's inside the 20 all the way down to the 15-yard line. The first time they've thrown a big Jimmy Thaxton, a 242-pounder out of Tennessee State. He got behind the Bear secondary, and Fensick and Schmidt finally pulled him down at the Bear 15-yard, making the 16-yard line. Big gainer, Manning to Thaxton, a 43-yard play, and the Saints are knocking on the door once again. The score here would certainly indicate it's going to be a long afternoon for the Bears.
Boy, that time Thaxton outran both Fensick and Schmidt. Manning's having a great afternoon for the Saints.
Wide to the right is Herman. Now Mauti shifts a step or 2 over to the left. They have a wing to the left. Quick pitch now to Galbraith. Going to try to turn that left side. Behind a couple of blockers. He's being gang tackled and dropped at the 13-yard line. A pickup of 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7. Terry Schmidt led the secondary on the tackle with help from Wayman Bryant, the right side linebacker.
Philadelphia Eagles have lost Ron Jaworski to a sprained ankle. Roman Gabriel now quarterbacking the Eagles, and they trail Detroit 17-13 in the fourth quarter. Atlanta leads the Giants 10-3 in the fourth quarter.
All right, the Saints break out of the huddle. Richard Mauti wide to the left, Herman wide to the near side, and they shift out of the eye into the deuce. Manning with a call on 2nd down 8 from the 14. And the give goes to Muncie, I believe, and Don Reeves makes the tackle on the play. Make that Galbraith carrying, and he's down to the 11-yard line. A pickup of 3. It'll be 3rd down and 5.
And if you just joined us, it's 21-10. The Saints lead the Bears. About 9:04 to go in the third quarter, and the Saints knocking at the door again.
Terry Steve, a second-year pro out of Wisconsin, replaces Kurt Schumacher at left offensive guard for the Saints. Mauti wide to the left, Herman wide to the near side. Deuce backfield on 3rd and 5 from the Bear 11-yard line. Manning slips, wants to run up the middle, breaks away to the 5, touchdown! Manning's 3rd of the day. On a quarterback draw, he slipped as he tried to set up, then broke down Reeves' tackle at the line of scrimmage and bolted into the end zone for his 3rd touchdown, and the Saints now lead 27-10.
You would think the Bears would adjust to that play up the middle, but they have not.
Oh, what a game for Manning. 3 touchdowns on the ground and a 4th one through the air. And with 8:44 to go in the 3rd period, the Saints have increased the margin to 17, and Zarro will try to add the 28th point on the extra point attempt. Blanchard will hold. There's a snap. The ball is down, the kick is up, and it's good, and the New Orleans Saints now lead 28-10 over the Bears here with 8:44 to go in the 3rd period.
Your nearby Buick dealer proudly introduces the 1978 Buick Regal Sport Coupe with turbo power. There's never been a car like it. This new Buick Regal Sport Coupe is something to see, something to drive, and you can do just that at your Buick dealers right now. When you slide in behind the wheel, you immediately discover a new world of comfort and luxury. The interior is handsome, richly appointed, intelligently laid out. Unbelievable leg and knee room, front and back. A new rectangular dash panel puts all controls at your fingertips. Now then, start her up. Check out Regal's performance. Buick's exclusive new, even-firing, turbo-powered V6 engine is everything the car magazines say it is. There's just never been a car like this amazing new Buick Regal. A lot of science, a little magic. That's the 78 Buick Regal Sport Coupe. You'll want one from your Buick dealers of Chicagoland and northern Indiana.
Well, Archie Manning having himself a field day, 6 out of 10 through the air for 135 yards and 1 touchdown, and he has rushed 6 times for 41 yards and 3 touchdowns. And the Saints now lead it 28-10. They marched 68 yards and 7 plays with their first possession of the second half. Art Best, who blocked a punt against Detroit 2 weeks ago, is the deep man for this kickoff. And he'll wait at the goal line.
Is the deep man for the Bears. With a minute to go, New England has tied the Jets at 27.
There's the kick by Zarro. Another boomer, and Best has to make an over-the-shoulder grab 8 yards deep in the end zone. He will not run it out. And so the Bears will have the ball at their own 20-yard line. And we have a little bit of extracurricular activity with Kim Jones, a big reserve running back, exchanging pleasantries with Jerry Myers of the Bears.
Steve Grogan hit Darrell Stingley with a 22-yard pass to tie that football game up at Shea Stadium. Jets in New England, 27-27, a minute to go in that game.
Well, the Bears with their big, bad rushing attack today, just 44 yards, and it doesn't look like they're going to add too many more to it, having to play catch-up football, trailing 28-10. Scott wide to the left. Wide to the right is Rather. Deuce backfield. Avellini now just standing behind center Dan Pfeiffer. Gets the snap, drops back to pass. Sets up and throws it. Overshoots his intended receiver, James Scott, who went up at the 35-yard line. He was in the clear, but the ball was a bit high, and Scott couldn't hang on. Second down, 10. Avellini is 8 of 17 for 132 yards, and about 5 or 6 that were dropped in the first half, and a couple that were completed, including a touchdown pass that were called back.
Avellini passing into the wind right now, which means they'll have the wind with them in the fourth quarter, the Bears will. And Manning just hooked up with the wind at his back for a 43-yarder to Thaxton. That set up that last score for the Saints. 28-10, Saints.
Back to pass on 2nd and 10. Avellini throws a long one intended for Scott. Comes back for the ball. Drops the ball at the 50-yard line. Greg Cassidy was covering. The ball was held up a bit by the wind. Scott played it beautifully. He saw it and slowed up and came for the ball and let it drop right through again.
If you're keeping track of drop passes, Harper has dropped 3, Scott has dropped 2, Rather has dropped 1, and those are all balls that should have been caught.
3rd down and 10. The Bears at their own 20-yard line. Well, the day turned out to be a lot nicer so far than the football game. The ball at the 20, 3rd and 10. The Bears digging themselves in deeper and deeper. Scott wide to the near side. Back to pass. Avellini looking, throws over the middle, and it's incomplete again as it's off the hands of Roland Harper, who was hit as the ball arrived by Joe Merlo. And 3 incompleted passes, 2 of them dropped. 4th down, 10 yards to go.
could have been very close to pass interference, but Harper did not complain on the play. So we have to assume that he was not hit before the ball got to him.
Rather was all the way down to the New Orleans Saints 20-yard line. Parsons to punt against the wind. The snap is a good one, and he gets it away. And he hits a high punt that is held up with the wind and comes straight down and takes a New Orleans bounce and goes all the way back to the Bears' 36-yard line, and a penalty flag is thrown. The penalty flag is thrown at the New Orleans Saints 47-yard line. That punt started off to be a beauty, got held up in the wind, came right straight down, and took a backward bounce of about 15 yards. That's 16 yards from the line of scrimmage where the Bears downed it. Now we'll see who the penalty is on. A clip against the Saints and a break for the Bears.
I guess.
The Bears have been penalized 64 yards. The Saints, that'll be their 5th penalty.
It's from the point of the infraction, so instead of having the ball at the 35 or 36-yard line of the Bears, it's back on the Saints' 32-yard line.
Oh, what a break there.
That's almost a
32-yard differential. The clip was called on Clarence Chapman, a cornerback, and so the Saints will have it at the 32-yard line in New Orleans territory. And they would have had it at the Bears' 36-yard line. What a difference. 8:12 to go in the third period. The Saints leading 28-10. Herman comes wide to the near right side. Wide to the left is Richard Mauti. They shift into the deuce. Here's the call now by Manning. Fake to Galbraith. Archie drops back, wings it downfield, and it's caught by Mauti, who spins away at the 45, gets to the 50 in the Bear territory at the 48 before Finsick finally wrestles him down with help from Terry Schmidt. Another missed tackle on the play. Virgil Livers had him and let him spin away. And it's a first down for the Saints at the Bear 49-yard line.
Archie Manning's the story of this football game. Besides the Bears' drop passes, Manning threaded the needle that time of a Bears zone defense, and he has been sensational both with his running and his passing. He is carrying the Saints on his back this afternoon.
There's the stack offense. Now Herman in motion to the right side. Mauti is split wide to the left. And the give to the second man, Muncie. Through a big hole. Tries the veer to the outside. Gets inside the 45 down to the 41-yard line. And again, it's Gary Finsick in the secondary who makes the tackle on the play. He had a big hole with some trap blocking on the left side thrown by Schumacher and Hill. And that's one of the bigger running holes we have seen this afternoon. It's at the 41. It's second down, 2 yards to go. And Muncie now has 28 yards and 15 carries.
Well, except for that Jets-Patriots game, this has to be the biggest surprise in the NFL today. The Bears were a 9-point favorite coming in.
Mauti wide to the left, Herman wide to the near side. Deuce backfield tucked in behind Archie Manning. And to give to Galbraith, right up the middle. Has the first down and is dumped at the 38.5-yard line as he ran right into Jerry Myers.
The Saints trailed the Packers in their opener down at the Superdome 24-0. Came back to only lose 24-20. They lost last week at Detroit 23-19, but only because Detroit made about as many mistakes as the Bears are today. Detroit held them to 9 first downs, racked up 26 first downs, and beat them by only 4 points.
That's the 17th first down for the Saints, their 5th in the second half. The Bears have picked up 1 in a total of 7. And a penalty flag before the ball is snapped, and both clubs are pointing at each other. Emmanuel Sanders, I believe, the right offensive guard, fired a bit quick on the play for New Orleans, and it is a 5-yard offside penalty against the Saints, which will put the ball back out to the Bear 43-yard line.
Well, there's still plenty of time. We've got 6:19 to go in the third quarter. We've got the whole fourth quarter when the Bears will have the wind at their back. But they got to get going. They've got to keep the Saints off the scoreboard and get this game turned around, or they're going to be out of time.
1st and 15 for the Saints at the Chicago 43. 6:19 left to go in the third period. Again, Mauti wide to the left, Herman wide to the near side. I formation, Muncie the deep man. Now Mauti moves in, Herman moves in on the right side. And Manning gives off to Muncie, who almost breaks into the clear, gets inside the 40 down to the 36-yard line where Jerry Myers hangs on to bring him down. So he got 7 yards back on the play right up the middle. It'll be second down and 15. Make it 8. Second down and 8 at the 36-yard line.
Nice play that time by Jerry Myers. He's from Northern Illinois. The Bears cut him twice last year, but he's stuck, and now he started today at left end in place of Mike Hartenstein.
Wide to the left is Mauti. Wide to the near side is Herman. I formation. Manning gives to the short man, Galbraith, and he gets short yardage just across the 35. He's met head-on by Don Reeves, the middle linebacker, and Doug Buffone, the left side linebacker, and knocked down at the 35. So it'll be 3rd and 7, a gain of 1 for Galbraith, his 59th yard of the afternoon and 18 carries.
Atlanta now leads the Giants 17-3. That game in the 4th quarter. Both teams are 1-1 right now, and the winner of that game will move into 2nd place behind Dallas, which is having a easy afternoon against Tampa.
Mauti again, wide to the far left side. Herman split wide to the near side on 3rd down and 7. And Manning sets up the pass. Has time, throws a long one down the middle, and Herman makes a dive for the ball. Can't get it at the 5-yard line. That would have been 6 if he'd have hung on. He had beaten Allen Ellis into the inside on a deep post pattern. And that's the first time that Manning, I believe, has been knocked down today, as he got a shot just after he delivered the ball.
One of the first times he's been off the mark as well. You call it. That would have been 6 points. The ball was overthrown, fortunately for the Bears. And looks like the Saints are going to try for maybe a field goal. Let's see.
Well, Blanchard is in. He's going to try to knock it out of bounds deep. He has punted 3 times today for an average of 4. No, they are going to try the field goal. I'm stand corrected. A 52-yard attempt with a 17-mile-an-hour tailwind, and Zarro will put it in the air from the 42-yard line. The ball is down. The kick is up, and it hits the crossbar. No good. It hit the crossbar from 52 yards out and bounced away. You know, if he'd have gotten that ball up a bit higher, it would have been good with plenty to spare, but it was a low-line drive type kick that hit the crossbar. And so the Bears get a break there, and time is called with 4:56 to go in the 3rd period to score. The Saints 28, the Bears 10. All right, the Bears will put it in play from the 35-yard line. Slot to the left, Scott is wide to the right. Avellini to throw on 1st down. Has time. Throws over the middle, and Rather makes a diving catch at the 45, gets up and gets knocked down again, right at the 45-yard line. His 4th pass caught today. Taking the tackle on the play was Joe Federspiel, the middle linebacker, and Chuck Crisp, the strong safety. And it's 1st down for the Bears at the New Orleans Saints 44-yard line. They mark it.
Pittsburgh beat Cleveland 28 to 14. So both teams are now 2-1. Houston is 2-0, and Houston's at Miami at 3 o'clock. Houston's a 4-point underdog in that one.
Slot to the right, Scott again, standing wide to the near side. Avellini back to pass on 1st down. Swings it out of the backfield to Roland Harper. Goes down to one knee, gets back up, and gets back to the line of scrimmage with a dive across the 45 to the 44-yard line. The Saints had flooded the flats that time, and Federspiel, the middle linebacker, made the tackle on the play. No gain on the completed pass. It'll be 2nd and 10.
How's this for an upset? The Jets beat the Patriots 30-27.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. The Jets 30, the New England Patriots 27.
So both Monday night teams lost today, Cleveland and the New England Patriots.
Avellini now 10 of 21 for 152 yards. Rathers caught 4 for 70. Slot right, back to pass. Avellini, hot puts it out of there. Penalty flag thrown, dumps it out on the right flat. It's complete at the 42-yard line for very short yardage. Bashnagel made the catch, his 1st of the year, but that'll be nullified, and there's going to be a holding call against the Bears.
Price points to Dan Piper and says, hey, he clipped me, and the way he's limping around out there, I believe him.
Well, if it's a clip, it'll be an additional 5 yards. It'll be a 15-yard walk-off. And they're talking things over now with the Saints. Tommy Myers, the veteran of that secondary, is the defensive captain along with Joe Federspiel. They still haven't moved the ball yet. 3:33 left to go in the 3rd period. Saints leading 28-10. And they move it back to the Bear 45. It'll be 2nd down and 20. The Bears have 196 yards total offense, and the Saints have 290, and that is the 7th penalty for 74 yards against the Bears this afternoon.
Oh, it was not Reeve. Sorry, I stand corrected. It was not Dan Piper.
The ball now at the Bear 45. It'll be 2nd down and 20. Slot to the right. Bears using their 3 wide receivers now. An attempt to get back in the ball game. Scott wide to the left. Avellini sets up deep. The pass being rushed. Dumps it out of there. Almost picked off. He had to throw that one in a hurry. It was intended for Roland Harper. And almost making the interception was Clarence Chapman, who was thrown right at him. And he couldn't react quickly enough to hang on.
2nd down, 20 yards.
Moore and Price really put the heat on Avellini that time. There have been no quarterback sacks this afternoon. Schubert back in and Bashnagel out as the 3rd wide receiver.
The Detroit Lions have held on for another 4-point victory. They beat the Philadelphia Eagles 17-13. The Lions now 2-1. Bears, Minnesota, and Green Bay, of course, all 1-1, and they're all playing. Green Bay's trailing at Minnesota. The Bears are trailing here against the Saints.
Slot to the right, Scott wide to the left again. Third down, 20 yards to go, and Avellini retreats to pass. Now throws it down over the middle. Whopper, but Rather has it at the 30-yard line and down to the 26-yard line. Bo Rather on a beautiful crossover cut right in front of Jimmy Marcellus, who then made the tackle after Rather had caught that wobbly Avellini pass at the 30-yard line. So it's first down for the Bears at the Saints' 26-yard line. 29-yarder.
So Rather, after dropping one early in the first half, has now caught 4 big ones. 3 in that drive that gave the Bears a field goal before the end of the half. And now this one here, which puts the ball at the 26-yard line. And 2:52 to go. The Bears have a chance to get some points on the scoreboard. They've got to score here.
Schubert back in. Rather now has caught 5 this afternoon for 89 yards. Slot to the right, Scott wide to the left. And a handoff goes to Walter Payton. Gives it up the middle, inside the 20, down to the 15, to the 14-yard line. Oh, he pops out of there all the way down to the 11. Let's see where they mark it. They're going to bring it back out to the 12-yard line. There's the biggest ground gainer of the day for the Bears. Westbrooks made the tackle with help from Tommy Myers, the free safety, as Payton bounced right up the middle for a big gainer, and it's first down at the 13-yard line. A 13-yard pickup for Walter, who now has 42 yards and 11 carries. That's the 5th first down for the Bears in the second half, their 11th for the game.
His biggest carry of the game so far. He was held only 36 yards last week after getting 160 the week before.
Scott wide to the right, slot to the near left side. First down to give now to Harper. Harper tries the right side, gets inside the 10, down to the 8-yard line, off right tackle. Roland Harper, tackled by Bob Pollard. It'll be 2nd and 5. The Bears marching now at the New Orleans Saints 8-yard line.
Well, it took them a while, but they're charged up now. They've got to be. They're trailing 28-10, 1:41 to go in the third quarter.
Schubert out, and Greg Latta, the tight end, who has seen limited action due to the nature of the game today, is in there now. Latta, of course, got a touchdown pass last week and has been the receiver 5 times so far this year. Scott wide to the right. Bashnagel wide to the near side. Deuce backfield. A give to Payton. He tries the middle and gets down to about the 6-yard line. Eloise Groom's waiting for him, the big right defensive end. They mark it at the 6-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 3 yards to go, and Schubert again replaces Bashnagel at wide receiver, bringing in a play from the near sideline. 44 yards and 12 hops for Walter Payton, who was the NFL's leading ground gainer by a yard over Detroit's Dexter Bussey prior to today's action. Scott wide to the right, Schubert in the slot to the right. Deuce backfield of Harper and Payton on 3rd and 3 from the Saints 6. And back to pass. Avellini swings it out of there. Caught by Payton. He rolls into the end zone. Touchdown. Penalty flag is thrown. And I believe they're going to call this one back.
I think it's a clip on Steve Schubert.
That would be the 2nd touchdown pass called back today.
Did they signal touchdown?
Well, the one official did, but not the one who threw the flag. And there's the call.
Oh, brother. Talk about mistake. Bears are beating themselves today.
Oh, it's a big one.
Yeah, it looked like a clip on Schubert, who's trying to give Payton some help over there.
It's all the way back out to the 17-yard line.
Oh, it's pass interference.
Pass interference.
Offensive pass interference.
That's 84 yards and penalties for the Bears, and they've lost 2 touchdowns. Bob Avellini's got to wonder what went wrong for him today. He has been brilliant. 181 yards on 11 completions out of 23 attempts, 5 or 6 dropped, and 2 touchdowns called back. Back to pass. Avellini sets it up, swings it out the left flat to Payton to the 20, to the 15, stumbles, still on his feet, running to the sideline and knocked out of bounds at the 14-yard line. Merlo knocked him out with help from Clarence Chapman. And the Bears are going to come up short again on 4th down now. 11 yards to go at the 14-yard line, and they're going to go for 7. They have to have a touchdown here. They trail by 18. Boy, oh boy.
Well, if they don't make it, they're going to have the Saints in a hole, that's for sure. Ball's at the 14-yard line.
4th down. 4th down, 11 yards to go. Scott wide to the right. Schubert wide to the near side. Avellini back to pass. Looking, throws. Penalty flag thrown as Harper makes the catch. He is driven down back at the 15-yard line. He got as deep as the 12, and it's going to be another offensive holding call on the Bears, which I think the Saints would probably decline at this point because the Bears just used up their 4th down. Boy, unbelievable.
This reminds me of the Atlanta game a year ago. I think it was 10-0. The Bears lost it.
I think Dennis Lick was the man who was guilty of the holding call, but the Saints will decline and take the ball instead. 2 touchdown passes called back. Numerous penalties and dropped passes for the Bears on offense and missed tackles on defense. And the Saints have the ball at their own 14-yard line.
They've had several offensive pass interference calls against them today.
Timeout is called with 26 seconds to go in the 3rd. The score, the Saints 28, the Bears 10.
This is the 25th year that Checker Oil Company has been selling good gas for less. And this year, we decided to chat with our customers right at the pump and to thank them for filling up at Checker.
What is your name, sir?
Storako, Ben Storako.
Are you a regular Checker gas?
We come down here quite often. In fact, it's the first time this car's going to get Checker gas.
I see. It's a brand
new
new
car. We just got
car.
the car. It's got 18 miles on there.
Great. I'd like you to meet somebody today. This is the president of Checker Gas.
Oh.
Right here.
How do you do, sir?
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you. I'll tell you what, these people here are nice.
We appreciate your saying that. This is our 25th anniversary. We'd like you to help us celebrate by saying our slogan for us.
Checker for 25 years. It's been a gas.
We asked our customers why they drive in to fill up with Checker.
Whenever I'm in the area, I like to stop in and get it because I know the gas is good quality and nice low prices.
Good gas at nice low prices. Yes, sir. Checker. For 25 years, it's been a gas.
Joe McConnell and Brad Palmer back at Soldier Field, where Jack Pardee has just taken his hat off and run his hand through his hair and wonders what on earth has gone wrong with his ball club today. Mistake after mistake has cost the Bears 2 touchdowns and given the Saints a couple of opportunities to add to their point total, and they lead it 28-10.
Well, at least he didn't pull his hair out, but you couldn't blame him if he did.
Saints had the ball on their own 14-yard line. Both ends are in tight, high formation. And the fake back to pass is Manning looking long, throws it down the left sideline. It's headed for Thaxton again, and he dropped it at the 50-yard line. He burned him early in this same quarter with a 43-yarder that set up Manning's 3rd touchdown run. Fensick was covering on the play, but the ball was right there, but Thaxton dropped it at the 50-yard line.
I like that. Manning's not going to sit on a 28-10 lead. He's got the wind here for the last few seconds of the 3rd quarter, and he's taking advantage of it. In fact, he had that ball right in the money at midfield to Thaxton, but he dropped the ball. So the Bears aren't the only ones dropping the ball, but they outnumber the Saints 6-1 now in drops.
2nd and 10. The Saints on their own 14-yard line. Manning is 7 for 12, 155 yards and a touchdown. But more importantly, he has rushed for 3 himself today. Herman wide to the near side. Both ends are in tight, and Manning again to throw. Sets up, throws over the middle, and it's caught. The safety reacted a bit late on that one, and Clemens, who's into the ball game, made the tackle on the tight end Thaxton, but Thaxton made the catch. And they're going to mark the ball at the 27-yard line, 1st down for the Saints. So they're out of the hole. Manning came right back to his tight end, who dropped the pass a moment ago and hooked up to the 27-yard line, a 13-yard completion, 1st down for the Saints.
Safety blitz there, too.
And the 3rd quarter is over here. It's Soldier Field with a score. The Saints 28, the Bears 10.
Round, round, get around, I get around. Yeah, get around, round, round, I get around. Get around, round, round, I get around.
Bear fans, if you live in the suburbs, there's no better way to get around than on the RTA Commuter Railroad. Whether you're heading for work or on a shopping trip, by getting aboard a comfortable commuter train, you can skip all the hassles of driving. Relax, read the paper, and get to your destination on time. The RTA has added new trains on many lines, making commuter rail service even better. And for those who take the train regularly, the RTA has got the best bargain in town. They'll mail you a ticket each month automatically. For information about commuter rail service to your town, as well as a ticket-by-mail application, write to the RTA at 300 North State Street, Chicago, 60610. That's RTA, 300 North State Street, Chicago, 60610, and get around better on the RTA Commuter Railroad.
Well, now the Saints will be marching into the wind here, but with an 18-point advantage as we begin the final 15 minutes of play at Soldier Field before a sellout crowd. A very unhappy Chicagoans today. 28-10 the score. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Saints on their own 27-yard line. Now they shift into the slot to the left, deuce backfield. Manning with a long count. And gives to Galbraith, who tries the middle and gets to the 30-yard line. A pickup of 3, it'll be 2nd and 7. Gary Pensick in on another stop today, along with Don Reeves.
The Bears need 3 touchdowns to pull this game out. Hey, Miami leads Houston 7-0 in the first quarter. So the Bears need 3 touchdowns. They've got the wind at their back. I'm going to look for some trick plays coming up here. I think you'll see either Harper or Payton throw the ball off the halfback option. You might see the end around, but I look for the Bears to unveil a bag of tricks here when they get the football.
Galbraith now with 62 yards and 19 carries. I formation, both ends are in tight. Wide receiver to the right. Hand off goes to Muncie. And he tries to run laterally to the right side and is pinned at the 29-yard line. Jerry Myers made the tackle along with Jim Osborne and Doug Buffone. They have shut down Chuck Muncie today, but Galbraith has picked up some important yardage in the middle on short yardage situations. Manning has scrambled for 3 touchdowns, 2 of them, I believe, on design quarterback draws. And the Bears have beaten themselves on offense.
This is a big play. 3rd and 7. The Bears can hang on here. The Saints are going to have to punt from unfavorable field position. The Bears will get it around their own 40-yard line if they hold.
Mauti wide to the near side. Herman split wide to the right. And Manning back to pass. Looking, has time. Throws a long one down the middle, intended for Herman. Overshoots him incomplete, and that time, Allen Ellis was with him stride for stride. 4th down, 7 yards to go. Manning threw a long one against the wind all the way to the Bears' 30-yard line. 13:37 to go in the game. Blanchard into punt. He's averaged 44 yards and 3 kicks today. The Bears are going to drop back 3, which means they will not rush. They're going to try to set up the return. Walter Scheid and Baschnagel will guard the corners, and Schubert will be the deep man at the 35. There's the snap. And Blanchard gets the kick away. And the wind holds it up. And it takes a straight up in the air bounce at the Bear 45. Now bounces towards the Bear goal line. Inside the 40, and it's going to be finally down at the 37-yard line. And Jerry Muckensturm squared off against Greg Boykin, a former Northwestern star, as they watched that ball just slowly roll towards the Bear goal line. A 33-yard punt helped by about a 10-yard bounce and roll. And the Bears will take over at their own 37-yard line with 13:23 to go, trailing 28-10.
All right, good field position here for the Bears. Watch for them to put the ball in the air. Question is, can they catch it?
Well, the Saints had a man downfield too quickly, and the Bears are going to decline it. They're going to take it right where it is, at the Chicago 37.
(28-10). New Orleans Saints beating the Bears. 13:23 to go in the game.
Timeout has been called, and we'll pause right now with the score 28-10 New Orleans.
Turbo Power. Turbo Power is here in the new 1978 Buick LeSabre Sport Coupe. And it's waiting for you right now at your nearby Buick dealers. Here is a very special car for the young at heart. Drives like a dream. Gives you road-hugging sport coupe handling and performance with power to spare. Thanks to Buick's exclusive new, even-firing, turbo-powered V6 engine. Yet, with all its sportiness, the 78 Buick LeSabre Sport Coupe is still a big, luxurious car. It offers you the kind of styling and comfort that pleases even the most demanding new car buyer. New glamorous interiors, soft, cushioned fabrics, a newly designed control panel that puts it all at your fingertips. Believe me, there's a lot of science and a little magic in the 1978 Buick LeSabre Sport Coupe. You'll want one from your Buick dealers of Chicagoland and northern Indiana.
Well, don't forget the game day recap special tonight at 9:06. Ray Geraci will review all of the Bear highlights and look at the NFL action with reports on the key games. That's at 9:06 tonight here on News Radio 78. Well, 13:23 to go, Brad. The Bears trail by 18. It's not impossible, but improbable.
I guess that's a fair assumption to say at this point. I don't want to write the Bears off this early. I think they're capable of coming back. But, gee, the Saints seem to be doing everything so well. Archie Manning is not going to sit on this lead. The Bears are really going to have to catch lightning in a bottle.
Well, Manning has done a brilliant job of reading the Bear defense. Wide to the left now is Scott. Wide to the near side is Rather, who's had an outstanding game with 5 catches. Long count by Avellini, and he sets up the pass. Looking, steps up in the pocket, throws, caught by Rather at the 50-yard line, and he's twisted down right there. Craig Cassidy along with Chuck Christ, and it's first down for the Bears at the 50, and give Rather his 6th reception for 109 yards. It's going to shoot him up in the standings as far as pass receiving is concerned. The Bears have it at the 50-yard line. Avellini is 14 of 26, despite all the dropped passes and the 2 touchdown tosses that were called back. He's passed for 197 yards. Slot left, deuce backfield. On a crossbuck, and a give to Harper up the middle, big hole, inside the 40-yard line, down to the 34-yard line. Joe Petersfield made the tackle on the play, and I think they had everyone in the park crossed up, including yours truly.
Me too. Beautiful faking in that backfield. It's that handoff right up the middle of Harper, and it was a beautifully executed play by the Bears.
Another 15-yard piece of real estate, this time on the ground for Roland Harper. First down at the Saints' 35-yard line. The Bears have been able to move it all day, but their own mistakes have killed their scoring opportunities down deep. Scott wide to the near side. Wide to the left is Rather. Back to pass. Avellini has time. Throws a lob down the near right sideline. Knocked loose. Incomplete intended for Walter Payton in a crowd. There were 3 Saints down there at the 12-yard line and jarred that ball loose. Greg Cassidy defending on the play, along with Greg Westbrook, the linebacker who dropped off on the play.
I don't know that was such a smart pass, but I'll say this. It was beautifully thrown. He hit him right on the button, but there really wasn't a crowd of 3 Saints defenders, and he never had a chance to catch it. He just got sandwiched.
2nd and 10. The Bears at the Saints' 35-yard line.
San Diego leads Cincinnati 7-0 in the first quarter, and Washington leads St. Louis 7-0 in the first quarter.
That AFC Central Division could wind up in a 4-way tie today. Back to pass, Avellini on 2nd and 10 from the New Orleans 35. Throws, and it's caught beautifully at the 30-yard line by James Scott, who got clotheslined by Tommy Myers, but he hung on to the ball. Only a 5-yard pickup, and he paid the price for that one. It'll be 3rd and 5.
Denver leads Seattle 7-0 first quarter. Miami leads Houston 7-0 first quarter. Rams lead the 49ers 3-0 first quarter.
That put Avellini over 200 yards in the passing department. Now at 202 on 15 of 28 with 1 interception, and that really wasn't his fault. It was a pass that Roland Harper juggled, and Chuck Christ picked off on the deflection. Scott wide to the left, Rather wide to the near side. 3rd down and 5. The ball at the Saints' 30-yard line to give to Walter Payton, looking for some running room. Cuts back in, still on his feet, and scrambles down near the 25-yard line. He made about 5 yards on a play that didn't look like it would go anywhere. Derlin Moore finally wrestled him down, and again, Payton, with that tremendous burst of energy on that 2nd and 3rd effort, got to within a half yard of the first down. It'll be 4th down and less than a yard.
Great individual effort. It reminds me of Robin Earl in that game against the Cleveland Browns when Earl got down to the 5-yard line with 1 play to go. He just carried people with him.
Schubert comes into the huddle now. Greg Latta's in there to block it tight end. It's going to be 4th down, about a foot to go. The Bears have to hurry. They only have 5 seconds to get the play away. Avellini hands off to Harper. He's got the first down, and he gets just barely inside the 25 to the 24. The Saints are saying they held, but oh, wait now. Bob Pollard made the tackle on the play. They had to get inside the 25.
Harper, the ball carrier.
It appeared that he made it.
I think he has it, but it's by inches.
First down, Chicago Bears at the 25-yard line, despite the protestations of 2 or 3 Saints defenders. Harper with 36 yards and 7 carries. Payton now with 48 and 13.
10:15 to go, 28-10. The Bears have got to score here. Minnesota leads Green Bay 19-7, 4th quarter.
Another missed extra point, apparently. Slot to the right, deuce backfield. Avellini looking over the Saints alignment. Quick pitch now to Payton, trying the right side. Jitterbugs at the 25, gets to the 20, and goes down at the 18-yard line. Walter Payton on a pitch to the near right side, tackled by Greg Westbrooks. The ball at the Saints 18, it'll be 2nd and 3, and the Bears have to be more and more aware of the time running out. 9:40 to go. 28-10, New Orleans leading by 18. The Bears have to score a touchdown.
And do it quick. Yeah, they can't eat up the clock with a lot of running plays.
Schubert is set wide to the left, Scott wide to the near side. Avellini fakes to Harper, rolls to the right, and throws the ball to Harper, who makes the catch, goes inside the 10, and knocked out of bounds at the 8-yard line. First down for the Bears. Fendersfield, the middle linebacker, made the tackle on the play as Avellini rode the ball into Roland's belly, tucked it away, rolled to the right, and that's going to be called back with another holding call. That's going to put the Bears up near the century mark in penalties today. The 9th penalty, 94 yards.
Instead of the 8-yard line, make it the 28-yard line.
Well, now it'll be 3rd down and 13 instead of 1st and goal. Greg Latta, the tight end, that time called for illegal use of hands while blocking. Westbrooks is pulled out. Illegal use of hands while blocking. Westbrooks is pulled out, and the Saints go with a 5th defensive back.
2nd down, 13 yards to go for the Bears. Ball on the 28.
That's 2nd and 13 from the Saints 28. Back to pass, Avellini, looking, pumps once, now runs up the middle. He tripped up and dropped at the 29-yard line. A shoestring tackle by Alex Price. A loss of a yard on the play makes it 3rd down, 14 yards to go.
Saints did a real good job there on defense. They had the Bears covered. There was absolutely no one open. Avellini was forced to run with the ball, and he almost got away. It was a shoestring tackle.
A loss of a yard. 3rd down, 14 yards to go. The ball on the New Orleans Saints 29. Rather wide to the left. James Scott wide to the near side. Quick call. Avellini back to pass. Big rush. Ball not close to the fumble. It's picked up by Bob Pollard. He's going to score. Pollard lumbers to the 20, to the 15, to the 10, to the 5, and the Saints have wrapped it up with a fumble recovery and touchdown run. Alex Price knocked the ball loose. Bob Pollard picked it up and lumbered all the way for the score. And that just about ices the cake as far as the whole day is concerned for the Bears. What an incredible afternoon for a Bear ball club.
Amen. Yeah, he just punched the ball out. Avellini got back to pass, and as soon as they turned around, there Price was coming right through the middle of that line, and he stripped Avellini of the ball, and Pollard was there, picked it up at the 50, and he was gone. There was nobody near him.
Well, Zarro will attempt the extra point, and the faithful here at Soldier Field head for the parking lots. The kick by Zarro is good, and the score, the Saints 35, the Bears 10.
Wherever you may roam, you'll find our name is known. You can trust a Delco. Thanks, Delco. Delco Freedom Battery.
Delco's Freedom Battery is loaded with sealed-in cranking power, and you never have to add water. See your nearby AC Delco dealer about Freedom and about Delco's other fine batteries. You'll be thankful you did.
In Chicago, stop in at Garfield Ridge Auto Parts at 6545 West Archer Avenue. And in Gary, Indiana, see Mid-States Auto Parts at 1917 Broadway.
All across our land, people know our brand. You can trust AC. Thanks, AC. Spark plugs by AC.
If you need a tune-up, see your nearby AC Delco dealer about AC fire ring spark plugs. They can help restore your gasoline mileage and performance, and that's something to be thankful for.
In Lowell, Indiana, see Lowell Auto Supply. In Joliet, see Hills Auto Supply on Plainfield Road. And in Maryville, Indiana, visit C&A Motor Parts on Broadway.
52 yards officially on the fumble recovery and touchdown run by Bob Pollard. Alex Price with the man who knocked it loose from Avellini. And it's a 35-10. New Orleans lead with 8:20 to go. Art Best is the deep man now awaiting the kickoff by Rich Zorro. 35-10. And he hits a low bouncer. And it's scooped up in the middle by Robin Earl to the 30, 35, 40, still on his feet, out to the 45-yard line. Goes the big rookie running back from Washington, knocked down by Rick Kingray. 23-yard return for Robin Earl. So the Bears now out of this one, 35-10 with 8:13 to go. It's only the second turnover today, both by the Bears. A lost fumble and a pass interception that resulted because of a drop pass. Not Avellini's fault on the interception at all. Slot to the right. Rather lining up inside Scott. Deuce backfield of Harper and Payton. Fake to Payton, rolling to the right is Avellini, being chased, got out of the pocket, throws, and it's caught, I believe, by the tight end. Yes, Greg Laddock. Gets to the Saints' 41-yard line. Merlot and Chris bring him down. Another completion for Avellini, who's having one of his better passing days despite all the drop passes. First down for the Bears at the Saints' 41-yard line. And Avellini is 16 of 29 for 216 yards. 2 touchdown passes were called back.
And a total of 6 were dropped.
First and 10 Bears. Ball to the Orleans 41. Wide to the left is Schubert. Wide to the near side is Scott. First down for the Bears at the Saints 41. Back to pass, Avellini. Ball is tipped, batted up in the air, incomplete. Intended for Payton on the near right flat, and it was Alex Price who just knocked that ball loose a moment ago and led to the Saints touchdown, who deflected that one. It'll be second down and 10.
Well, I knew it would have days like this, but I never expected it to be today. Not against the Saints at Soldier Field.
One never really does expect those days. They just happen. And it'll be back to the drawing board this week. The Bears had an excellent practice on Friday as well. Wide to the left is Scott. Rather wide to the near side. Back to pass, Avellini. And he tries to throw it out of the left flat to Harper. The ball is deflected again, but this time by Alois Grooms, and a penalty flag was thrown, and it may be another holding call against the Bears. And if it is, it will push them over the 100-yard mark in penalties today, and that's exactly what it is.
Saints are just teeing off on Avellini now. They're just blowing in off the line. They know the Bears have to put the ball in the air, and it's going to be a nightmare from here on out.
104 yards if they accept.
Miami leads Houston 14-0 in the first quarter, and Seattle has tied Denver at 7-7 in the first quarter. I see some people parading through the stands with a banner. It's a New Orleans Saints banner that says "The Faithful Few." And
Ted Albrecht was the man who was caught for the offensive holding call, and the Bears have now been penalized 104 yards. It's back at the Chicago 49. Schubert wide to the near side. Scott standing wide to the left. And Avellini gives to Payton. And he gets across the 50, tries to break loose, and drags a tackler for a couple of yards to the 44-yard line. Chuck Christ got him with the ankle, wouldn't let go, and Tommy Myers came up to help him out.
Once again, Detroit has beaten the Philadelphia Eagles 17-13, and Minnesota leads Green Bay 19-7 in the fourth quarter. So Detroit and Minnesota will be tied for the Central Division lead at 2-1. The Bears and the Green Bay Packers will be 1-2.
Tampa Bay 0-3.
Yes, Tampa Bay. Can't forget them.
Baschnagel wide to the left, Scott wide to the near side on third down and 13 from the 44. Back to pass, Avellini. He wings it downfield, and there's a great catch by Scott at the 26-yard line. Great catch by Scott as he went high in the air over Craig Cassidy, who hit him from behind, along with Greg Westbrook, but it's a first down, and they mark it at the 27-yard line in Saints territory. James Scott, 17-yard pickup.
Well, this is going to take the edge off that homecoming celebration at the Palmer House Hotel tonight. All the Bears grads coming back, and it was the same story last year for homecoming. The Bears lost that one, too.
Slot to the left, deuce backfield, first down for the Bears at the Saints' 27-yard line. And the give to Harper inside, and he gets down across the 25 to the 23-yard line, wound up on top of the tackler, and I'll see where they mark it. Greg Westbrooks makes the stop, and he may have gotten another yard. He did, down to the 21. 5:54 left to go in the ball game. 35-10, the Saints over the mistake-prone Bears here today before the home folk. At the 21-yard line, it'll be 2nd down and 4. And Harper now has picked up 42 yards and 8 carries. Payton is 62 for 15. High formation, slot left. And Avellini, quick pitch now, goes to Payton. Explodes through the hole. Inside the 15 to the 10 to the 5. Touchdown, Walter Payton. Blowing through a hole off right tackle. Kept his feet as he got tripped up. Kept his balance and carried it to the right corner of the end zone. A 21-yard run for Walter Payton as Roland Harper threw a key block. And the Bears get a little measure of consolation here late in the ball game, and now it is 35-16. Well, Walter had one called back early in the ball game, in the third quarter on a pass reception. This one, he legged into the end zone from 21 yards out. And Bob Thomas will try for the extra point. 5:27 to go. The ball is down, the kick is up, and it is good. It's a 35-17 New Orleans lead. The Bears went 55 yards in 6 plays with 5:27 to go. 35-17 the score. Walter Payton's 21-yard touchdown run. That's his 3rd score of the year, and it gives him 83 yards on the ground today. The Bears are huddled up. They haven't kicked off yet, and I think the Saints are obviously looking for an onside kick. They've got 2 running backs deep, Muncie and Strawn, and they're standing at about the 18-yard line. 5:27 to go. The Bears went 55 yards in 6 plays. They add a little bit more respectability to the score. 35-17.
Thomas will kick off for the Bears.
Thomas waiting, now moves forward. Gains some momentum and then squibs it to the right side. It's caught at the 40-yard line by Kim Jones to the 45 and up to the 50-yard line. The big running back out of Colorado State. Steve Schubert made the tackle on the play. Schubert weighs 188. Jones weighs 243. 10-yard return, and the Saints will have it right at the 50-yard line with 5:20 to go, leading by 18.
Archie Manning's had a big day here at Soldier Field. Hasn't passed that much, 8 of 14, but for 168 yards, and he has run for 3 touchdowns. Passed for another.
Herman wide to the right, Mauti wide to the near side. High formation. The Bears want to blitz. Now Pensick backs away as Manning reads the defense, takes his time, fakes, and gives off to Galbraith, who's nailed right at the 49. A yard of a loss. Roger Stillwell in there low to make the tackle, so Galbraith loses 1 on the play. It's 2nd and 11.
49ers lead the Rams 7-3 in the first quarter. 49ers upset the Rams at the Coliseum 16-0 last year. Also beat them in the preseason. I can't believe the 49ers are going to win today. But the way today's going, anything can happen. The Jets have already beaten the Patriots, and the Saints are killing the Bears.
The Bears now lead on total yardage here today, and they're down by 18. Pensick wants to safety blitz, backs off the line. Here they come. Manning back to pass, swings it out the flat, and Muncie drops the ball behind the line of scrimmage at the 42-yard line. Bears have 357 yards total offense. The Saints 305. It'll be 3rd down, 11 yards to go at the 49 with 4:41 remaining.
Henry Stram has a good record against the Bears. I don't recall what it is. I remember in the preseason we were talking about it. I think he had beaten the Bears 4 in a row, at least 4 in a row, and this makes 5.
Mauti wide to the near side, Herman wide to the right, back to pass now is Manning, and he floats one down the right side, and falling down on the play was Craig Clemens, but the ball was incomplete, and Faxton wanted an interference call on Clemens, but he gets none. So it's 4th down, 11 yards to go. The Saints stymied on this particular possession at their own 49-yard line. Blanchard in the punt in 4 kicks today, an average of 42 yards.
Well, it's about all the Saints haven't gotten today and missing that interference call. They've had a little bit of everything. But again, the Bears, they really beat themselves. They took themselves right out of this football game. Avellini could have had an exceptional day had they caught his passes. Passes and penalties took the Bears on a drive after drive.
There's a snap, and Blanchard gets the kick away. And it's a wobbler off the side of his foot and out of bounds. Over on the far side, a very poor punt. It was low and off to the right. And they have a penalty flag thrown at the 41-yard line. I wonder if it's against Jerry Muckenstern, who rushed the punter on the play. And they're calling the Saints over, and it's a personal foul on Muckensturm. And that will give the Saints the ball once again. Face mask grabbing penalty on the punter, I believe. It was done to the punter, Tom Blanchard. Jerry Muckensturm, a reserve linebacker from Arkansas State, the man guilty of the infraction. And the Bears have come up with just about every type of mistake penalty-wise you could come up with today.
Their next game is a week from tomorrow night right here against the Los Angeles Rams. And the Bears are going to have to win that football game if they're going to think about the playoffs. They can't afford to go 1-3 and start thinking about the playoffs. I do think they can go 2-3 and still think about the playoffs. They got Minnesota at Minnesota the following week. You know, the Bears can be 2-3. They figured, in my estimation, to win 8 of their last 9 games. The only game they have with a team against a team with a winning record from last year is Minnesota. That game is here. They also play Detroit a few days later on Thanksgiving Day. So after the Minnesota game 2 weeks away, they only have that one tough stretch.
Well, they only get 5 yards on the penalty, but it's a first down at the Bear 47. Fourth period score, Baltimore leading Buffalo 17-14. 7-3, 49ers over the Rams in the first quarter. 7-0, the Redskins lead St. Louis on a Kilmer to Grant 12-yard touchdown pass. Well, the Bears have the ball. Avellini back to pass. We're going to have to look for an explanation there, and he completes it over the middle to Walter Payton at the 48-yard line in Saints territory. Apparently, that penalty was against New Orleans, a face mask grabbing penalty by one of the blockers on Jerry Muckensturm. So the Bears got the ball back. So the Bears have it now at the Saints' 48-yard line. We've seen all kinds of calls today. So scraps that last penalty against the Bears and assess it against the Saints. Second down 5. The Bears at the Saints' 48-yard line. Slot right. Deuce backfield of Harper and Payton. Avellini to throw. Rolls to the right side. Winds up once, looking downfield, now throws it. And it's tipped up in the air, incomplete. Intended for Schubert, who couldn't hang on at the 25. He was defended by Craig Cassidy, and it was almost deflected to James Scott, who was 5 yards deeper. But, of course, Scott could not have caught the ball legally unless it had been touched by one of the defenders. Now, in college and high school ball, that doesn't hold. The Bears have been penalized 106 yards today. The Saints, 60 yards. Third down and 5 at the New Orleans 48-yard line. And Avellini will probably unload again. He is 18 of 33 for 239 yards. Scott wide to the near side. Baschnagel wide to the left. Back to pass. Avellini throws a long one. It's going to be incomplete. Intended for Scott, but a penalty flag was thrown, and the whistle blew before the ball was snapped. So the play will not be allowed. 3:45 to go in the game, and we'll see what the officials' call is going to be on this one. And they're having a confrontation among themselves. Neither club knows what's going on.
Well,
it's going to be against the Bears, I think.
No, it's a...
Oh, a delay of game penalty because somebody was on the field. Apparently there was some... I didn't see anybody on the playing field, but apparently that's what it was called. So there's no penalty. The official just stopped the clock, and they have announced here that if they don't stay off the field, the Bears will be penalized again.
Final of Bloomington, Minnesota beat Green Bay 19-7, so the Vikings are 2-1 along with Detroit. Green Bay 1-2, and the Bears about to be 1-2.
That's the Vikings' highest point total in 3 ball games. 3rd and 5. Back to pass Avellini. Under heavy pressure. Throws it, and it's intercepted by Joe Merlo. He's at the 50, the 45, the 40. He's going to score! Joe Merlo all the way on an interception. He goes into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans, as linebacker Joe Merlo picked that ball off. Well, that's about a 60-yard return. We'll get the official measurement on it. Walter Payton finally chased him down and tackled him right at the goal line, just inside the pylon. But another big turnover and a touchdown for the Saints, and it's 41-17.
Jim Merlo, a 4th-year pro out of Stanford, was the MVP on the Saints' defensive unit last year. He intercepted 4 passes. This is his first interception this year.
62 yards. The pressure was applied that time by Alex Price, and Avellini on the move threw it right to Jim Merlo, the linebacker, and he rumbled 62 yards for the touchdown. Here's Zarro's extra point. It is good, and it's 42-17 with 3:33 to go.
Reminds me of that Michigan-Texas A&M game on the tube yesterday. It's deteriorating here the same way it did at Ann Arbor yesterday as Michigan poured it on against Texas A&M, running everything into the end zone possible, including a blocked punt.
An official timeout.
Boy, I'll tell you, when you lose, I guess it doesn't matter how bad you get beat. You hate to lose the close ones, and there's no doubt about this football game. 42-17. The Saints have beaten the Bears in just about every way possible. Archie Manning's had a sensational day, running for 3 touchdowns, passed for another. The Saints broke the game open for good by returning an Avellini fumble, 52 yards for a touchdown. Now Jim Merlo runs an intercepted pass, 62 yards for a touchdown. Bad beating. 3:33 to go in the game, and 42-17.
Well, sometimes in the long run, although it's hard to figure it now, this might be good for the ball club because obviously they know there's a lot of work to be done. And you got to feel sorry for Jack Pardee and his coaching staff to prepare a ball club for a ball game like this and then watch it just disintegrate with all the mistakes. Art Best is waiting now for Zarro's kickoff, and he's got to be getting a little leg weary by now, I think. 3:33 to go. A 42-17 St. Lee. 2 touchdowns here in the final period on turnovers. A fumble recovery and now an interception. 152 yards, 162 yards. And Zarro hits it right down the middle. A bouncing ball, and it runs right by Bashnagel. Fumble picked up now by Best at the 16 to the 20, 25, and gets out to the 28-yard line. Again, that low bouncing kick, very hard to handle. Kim Jones made the tackle on the play, a 12-yard return for Art Best, who started his collegiate career at Notre Dame, then transferred to Kent State.
The Bears only have tickets remaining for 3 football games. The Ram game next week from tomorrow night is sold out. So is the Minnesota Viking game later this year. They have tickets for the Atlanta game, the Kansas City game, and the Green Bay game here, and they only have single seats available, no 2 seats together.
Wide to the left is Scott, rather wide to the near side. And Avellini on a draw gives to Roland Harper. Big hole across the 30, 35, 37-yard line. And Jim Merlo, who just intercepted that Avellini toss a moment ago and scored a touchdown, made the tackle on the play. But Harper picked up, 9 yards on the play. It's 2nd and 1 at the Bear 37. I don't envy Brad Palmer in a few moments going down to the Bear locker room after a 42-17 trouncing. Slot to the left. Schubert and Scott. High formation, 2nd and 1. Avellini, quick pitch now to Payton. Payton threw a hole to the 40, breaks 1 tackle, still on his feet, breaks another tackle, he's at the 50, the 45, the 40, 35, 30. Payton looking for a blocker at the 25, the 20, the 15, the 10. He's down to the 1-yard line. Walter Payton running down the near sidelines. Now let's see, I think they marked him out of bounds. They mark him out of bounds at the 14-yard line. Clarence Chapman apparently bumped in just enough. Jeff Seavey threw a key block on the play. Well, Walter's stats are going to look impressive after this ball game today. That puts him way over the century mark for the 11th time in his career. A 49-yard run. The Bears have it at the 14-yard line. Well, Payton got the big opener.
I don't know how he got away from 2 Saints. They had him almost down to his knees. Couldn't quite bring him down, and Walter sprung free. It's the second 100-yard game in 3 games this year. He had 7 last year.
Well, at the 14-yard line, first down for the Bears. And a give to Harper. Harper tries the middle, gets inside the 10 to about the 9-yard line, where Mike Fultz brings him down. 2:29 to go and counting. Payton with a 49-yard run.
After a gain of 5.
That gives Payton 132 yards and 17 carries. And he should be assured of his leadership in the NFL in rushing after the game today. Slot to the left. This backfield. Harper and Payton on 2nd and 5 from the Saints' 9-yard line. They give to Payton, going to try to sweep the right side, looking for a block, turns it inside to the 5, still on his feet and down to the 2-yard line. Goes little Walter Payton. Taking up for a lost afternoon here as far as the Bears are concerned. Reedy Sorey with a key block.
Payton brought down by Myers.
Tommy Myers, the safety, made the tackle at the 2-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal, and the 2-minute warning now is being given to both coaches. We'll be back in a moment. And Peyton's long 49-yard run and the ensuing 2 tries into the line now have given the Bears 432 yards total offense today, enough to win, well, practically any football game, and yet they're trailing 42-17. 1st and goal at the Saints' 2-yard line. Peyton and Harper, the running backs. Both ends are in tight. Bashnagle wide to the right. Avellini with a call and gives to Harper, who tries the middle and gets chopped down just short of the goal line. It'll be 2nd down and less than a yard to go. This has been a most unusual and frustrating afternoon for the entire Chicago Bear franchise. Jim Merlo and Federspiel made the tackles on the play. 2 linebackers. 2nd and goal. The ball just, well, inside the 1.
I guess the only positive thing is nobody got hurt today.
That we know about. Schubert wide to the right. Both ends are in tight. I formation to give to Peyton. Hurdles, cartwheels into the end zone. Touchdown. Walter Peyton from the yard out. And that makes it a 42-23 score with 1:26 to go as Peyton leaped high in the air, was cartwheel, but got into the end zone. Peyton's 2nd touchdown this afternoon, his 4th of the year, and that gives Walter 140 yards on the ground and 19 carries. That's 3 touchdowns for Walter today. All right. Thank you, Dave Milberg, our statistician. The first one he scored so long ago, I'd forgotten about it. 33-yard touchdown reception. That was the first score of the game. Thomas will try the extra point, and he's got it. 42-24. We got a track meet here in Chicago. 66 points on the board.
Well, it was all over a long time ago. Not that long ago, actually. It was about 8.5 minutes to go in the 4th quarter that the Saints really iced it with that 52-yard fumble return by Bob Pollard. That made it 35-10. Until then, the Bears had an outside chance at it, but the Bears scored first in this football game. They scored that 33-yard pass from Avellini to Peyton, but after that, it was all Saints as Archie Manning passed for 1 touchdown and ran for 3 others. It was 21-10 at the half in favor of the Saints, and they scored shortly after the start of the second half, made it 28-10, then 35-10. Now the Bears have traded a couple of touchdowns with the Saints, and it's 42-24. 1:26 to go, and a lot of empty seats now. Here's a final from Dallas. The Cowboys beat Tampa Bay 23-7, and the 49ers continue to lead the Rams 7-3 in the first quarter.
Well, Peyton with 3 TDs today now has 5 on the year. 140 yards rushing, and Walter also caught 4 passes for 53 yards. That's 193 yards for Walter Peyton. Avellini's stats are impressive. 18 of 34 for 238 yards, a touchdown and 2 intercepted, one of them returned for a TD. Strawn and Muncie are the 2 deep men, and again, the Saints expecting an onside kick, and for about the 5th time this afternoon, the wind blows the football off the tee, and Thomas will try it again. .26 to go. The Bears will drop to 1-2 on the year and trail the Vikings and the Lions in the NFC Central Division by a game. There's a squibber down the right sidelines, runs right by Muncie, bouncing, and it goes out of bounds at the 4-yard line. They'll kick it over again.
Well, the Los Angeles Rams have had trouble getting on track here this year. They had a bad preseason. They're trailing the 49ers. They'll be in here a week from tomorrow night. Should be a good football game. As soon as I say that, the Rams score a touchdown. It's 10-7, the Rams lead it.
Bears have been penalized 109 yards now. And Thomas will kick it off from the 30-yard line. I don't know, the most valuable player in this game today might be the official. Well, our stat man, who did an excellent job again today, as always, Dave Milberg. I'd like to thank our spotter, Pat Benkowski, our technician here, Harry McIntyre, our studio producer, Dave Ennett, our assistant producer, Bob Dieterich, and, of course, our executive producer, Rich King. Fine staff. Makes Brad and I's job a lot easier.
Not today, it is.
Easier today, that's right.
Well, I'll tell you, I don't look forward to these.
You got to try working the NBA sometimes. You get about 20 of these a year.
That locker room's going to be tough today. I thought it was going to be tough last week, but what about today?
Well, the sun will come up in the morning. In the east, I hope. There's the kick by Thomas. He squibs one down the right side. And a big pileup at the 36-yard line. A scramble for the ball, and I think the Bears have it. We're waiting for the official signal. Well, the offensive unit's coming on the field for the Bears, so apparently they have it. A big pileup over on the far sidelines at the Saints' 47-yard line, and the Bears recover the onside kick, and it's Steve Schubert who does the job once again for the special teams. That's the first turnover by the Saints today. It has to be ruled a fumble. So the Bears get it one more time at the 47-yard line in Saints territory with 1:23 to go. Scott wide to the left. Rather wide to the near side. And Avellini will throw. Sets up deep in the pocket, has time, throws one to the right side, overshoots rather incomplete at the 28-yard line, and the ball goes clear out of the end zone on the bounce. 2nd down and 10. And Dave Milberg, our spotter, had to add some more passing room stats for Avellini. He's 18 of 35 for 238 yards.
Miami leads Houston 21-7. That game's in the second quarter.
Shula's got him rebuilt and reorganized down there. Bob Greasy wearing glasses now. Nat Moore is their big play man. Had 3 touchdowns last week, 1 on an end around and 2 on 2 fine receptions. 2nd and 10 from the Saints 47. Avellini to throw once again. He fires it, incomplete, threw it too hard that time as Harper never really had a chance at it, and Merlo was there to greet him as the ball went incomplete. It'll be 3rd down and 10. 1:11 to go.
If Miami hangs on to beat Houston, and again, it's only the second quarter, but Houston will be 2-1 along with Cleveland and Pittsburgh.
The entire division will be tied.
Well, Cincinnati, if Cincinnati beats San Diego, but the Chargers were leading 7-0 in the first quarter of that game. Chargers looked impressive, I understand, against Kansas City after losing against Oakland the first game, and they may be tough out there on the West Coast.
Rather wide to the near side. Scott wide to the left, and Avellini back to throw again. Pumps once, throws over the middle, intercepted and dropped. This time it was Fendersfield, cut right in front. The intended receiver, Greg Latta, got both hands on the ball but couldn't hold it. 4th down, 10 yards to go at the 47, 1:06 to go.
We may be the only ones left in Soldier Field before this one's over.
Well, of the 57,000 plus tickets that were sold today, we might have 15,000 left inside the ballpark.
Starting to look more and more like a soccer game here.
4th down, 10. Bears at the Saints' 47-yard line, and Bashnagel's in now, wide to the near side, and Scott, who's gone all the way wide receiver, wide to the left. Back to pass, Avellini, reverses, spins away, pressured, throws, and it's incomplete. And the Saints will take over at the 47-yard line. Helping Avellini up was Big Joe Campbell, who had a slight ankle sprain early in the ball game. Avellini will finish with 18 of 38 for 238 yards. 1 touchdown, 2 intercepted. And the few people that are still in the premises now all begin to head for the exits now as the Saints take over with 59 seconds to go. I would anticipate 2 plays and the gun.
Those statistics very misleading. Number 1, he had 6 passes dropped, and number 2, here in the second half, they knew he had the pass. It's very difficult to come up with much of a percentage under those conditions. All in all, Bob Avellini had a good day today. He's one of the few Bears who did.
There's a stacked backfield, a 3-man eye, and to give, I believe, to Galbraith, who is stonewalled right at the line. Roger Stillwell making the tackle on the play, and the Bears call a timeout. 61 yards in 21 carries for Galbraith. 50 seconds to go. It'll be 2nd and 11, a loss of 1, they say, at the ball 46-yard line in Saints territory. Well, a week from tomorrow night, on a Monday night match up here at Soldier Field, it'll be the L.A. Rams and Hollywood Joe Namath. And the Bears will have to regroup in the next 7 days and hopefully be ready to play an error-free ball game. And if they can do that, they'll give the Rams all they can handle. All right, the Saints line it up on 2nd and 11. 3-man eye behind Manning. And he gives to Muncy. Muncy veers to the right and then up for about 2 yards to the 48-yard line before he's tackled. Now the clock continues to run now. 35 seconds to go. Muncy with 37 yards and 18 carries. And apparently the Bears are just going to let it run down now. 42-24. The Saints with their first victory of the year, and the Bears with their second loss in starts. And the regular season series will read 5-2 in favor of the Bears.
Third down, 8 yards to go.
The Saints break the huddle on 3rd and 8.
49.
Faxon lines up as a tight end on the right side. They have a 3-man eye behind Manning. And the Bears are blitzing. Quick pitch now to Muncie. Looking for the right side. Breaks through a hole at the 50 and gets into Bear territory and gets to the 46-yard line. And that should be the final play of the game. And the gun is sounded here at Soldier Field in a long, long afternoon for the Chicago Bears. The final score, the New Orleans Saints 42, the Chicago Bears 24.